You are live! Exclamation mark. Yeah, we are. It'll take like 30 seconds before
Yeah.
it catches up.
And I gotta make sure my sound's off and stuff.
Yep.
At 6:30. It's 6:30. There we go. Gotta do an ad.
Ooh. There it is.
I don't know if I want to should I skip the ad?
Yeah. I guess it's echoing off of his mic. Might be close enough. What? There's two people. It's probably us.
We dropped him. We were at 6 and now we're at 2.
Nice. Just waiting on somebody to comment.
I hope Sozo's in here. Oh, he is here. Hi, Sozo.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
We were singing your praises before this went live. That's why Ross tagged you. So
do it.
Sozo just dropped into the
chat.
What's up, Peyton? What's going on? Can we get a sound check from everyone? Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Well, I know you. Oh, Ben's here. Nice.
Ben, what's up, man?
Must have caught him after he did all the work, because last time he said this is not working people's hours.
I mean, it is Sunday.
That's very true. Yeah,
Apparently,
the freight doesn't wait, man.
Yeah, apparently
Nope.
people in offices call you on Sundays.
I mean, you truck in Georgia for double cert? Okay.
Oh, yeah, he needs a passenger seat. They won't do the certification if you only have one seat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Because I guess they wanted like a seatbelt and stuff, and they want to be able to see.
Hey, did you go take a class to get your doubles endorsement?
No, you just need the endorsement.
I don't think it's like hazmat.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
I want to go get that.
Yeah, you just take a test.
Yeah, I want to go do that. Excellent question, Ted.
Let's put Ted's question up here. Would you recommend it? Yeah, absolutely. If you have the required experience, for sure. So I don't know how old you are, but if you ever read the Goosebumps, like Choose Your Own Adventures, where there was like millions of different options, I equate Landstar to like a Choose Your Own Adventure book. So if you want to do like a dedicated routes, there's tons of dedicated. If you just want to work the load board like we do, there's that. If you want to work like the specialized freight like concerts, or if you want to do oversize or anything like that, there's if you can dream it up, chances are somewhere on the Landstar environment, it's out there. So yeah, I would recommend it if you have the experience.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it is definitely true. So as far as I know, Carnesville does the testing, and I think they have a set in
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So Fort Worth, you actually have to go do the road test with them. I was down there for about a week.
Yeah, that was as of like a few months ago. I guess there was a lot of liability because it doesn't take much to get the endorsement.
Yeah.
You can sign
It's like a
up.
10-question test or something like that.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, and that's good to know now, because that was always our complaint when people say, oh, just go get your doubles and triples. We're like, yeah, but we don't have any training on it. Like, it's
Right.
a totally different world that you're signing yourself up for, and that's super dangerous if you don't have any training. Like, it's not as, I don't know, I've never done it, but it doesn't seem like the super easy just hook your trailer up thing that people make it out to be. So
I think it is. I mean, the biggest thing is, don't back up. Outside of that,
do your 30 in the fuel island.
Yeah,
I've just seen so many wrecks where things weren't hooked up correctly, and also like the extra wiggle that people aren't ready for
in the wind.
Ooh.
That wind, yeah.
Ooh.
What is happening?
The camera is picking up the light every time I move. It gets darker and lighter.
It's the head. It's the head.
It is. It probably is. It probably is actually. Yeah. So
that was good.
so it's I don't know. It's a little more risky to me because like yeah, like physically driving the truck is one thing, but like you have a whole set of different circumstances. So we don't have any experience pulling doubles or triples or anything like that. Like the endorsement's easy.
Yeah.
We got that when we were going through Prime, when they were doing all the permit tests. So like we have it, but I've never pulled doubles, have no training in, just like inclement weather type stuff where it's like really windy. I see a lot of people end up in the ditch. I don't know how qualified they were, so how much experience they had. So, all right, let's roll back up. I think I have missed some. Oh yeah, you're perfect. 12 years of driving, absolutely.
Mhm.
As long as some of that's OTR.
At least 1 year has to be OTR
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
and has to be recent.
Yeah, so it's 1 year if it was
That's something,
recent, or
yeah.
it's like 3 or 4 years if it's been X number of years since you've driven OTR or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if you have the experience, absolutely. If you have the capability of buying a truck and you're ready to lease it on, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to speak for Ross, but we would definitely recommend it. I'm sure he
Yeah.
would.
I would as well.
So does Landstar still sell their trailers? Oh, it's gonna be further down. Never mind.
Okay.
You'll get to it.
How did y'all do concert loads?
That's
Yes.
a good question.
So, do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I can talk about this one. So yeah, I did one earlier this year. Actually, did two earlier this year. One was Metallica, and then I also did the Coachella Music Festival
Nice.
earlier this year. And actually, I'll be on one this upcoming week, but I'm not sure if I can talk about it. I'm pretty sure I can. But
Yeah, you don't need.
basically, yeah, I was like, basically, what you do. I mean, you just first of all, right place, right time is the biggest thing for concert loads.
Yeah.
And then two is really the relationship you have with the agents that have that load. Like for me, all of my concert loads, except for this one coming up, has been through because I have a connection with a certain agent. But now I get concert load options now because when I have my own trailer, I have my logistic load bars, and I have my trailer listed in Landstar as a different type of van than a regular van trailer. So now I get those loads. Like I do concert loads, you get gaming and entertainment loads now. You just have to have the right equipment and then really start, building relationships with those agents, go into those lanes and figure out, what agents work where and, where they can go. This really all it is about concert loads is like if they need a truck and you have the minimum required stuff, like you can do it too.
Yeah. So also it comes down to like, I guess the big thing with Landstar in general is like your networking. So, like we joined a bunch of the Facebook groups, and I see it posted in there when they need a driver here and there. So like that will get you in as long as you show up and you're not a complete moron and you do what the person that's leading. Because am I right in saying that there's always going to be like a lead driver that kind of
Yes.
coordinates everything?
Yeah.
So as long as you like listen to them, and then so the next go around you'll have a little bit more experience, and they may call you if they need somebody, and then you'll kind of get in the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really the biggest. Like with doing concert tours, I've learned that there's drivers that are everyone's not made to do concert tours.
Right.
There is such a thing as being too proud to be able to be on a driving team, because if you don't place your trust and complete like faith in that lead driver who does know what they are doing, like that causes a lot of problems and
Yeah.
costs a lot of money because a lot of these places use like unions and they're like, you know, $4,000, $40,000, $400,000 an hour.
Right.
So if we go, if the loadout is supposed to end at 3 a.m. and you can't get your trailer in the door and they don't get off until 4:03, you just cost them $400,000 because they have to pay for another hour. So it's like if you're too proud, you don't listen well, you don't work well with others. This is not something that you should be doing.
Yeah, it's also kind of more of a solo adventure. I've seen a few team concerts, but very, very few and far between. But so like we considered it, but it's just a tiny bit too much sitting for us. Yeah, I mean, a slow pace is fine, but I mean, the truck gets smaller and smaller. More hours that you sit just sitting laid over. It's yeah, I don't know. It was a little too much sitting for us, but really like the 9-hour tire video. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the joys of pulling a company trailer. You got to deal with company stuff, right? Favorite former prime drivers. Hey, see if we could get TK.
Oh, prime drivers.
Hey. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's the type of things that I guess that Landstar is trying to avoid is people just picking up their first set of doubles and then driving through conditions that they don't have any experience. Yeah. Let's see.
Ex-prime gang.
Uh-oh, the homie. He's always supporting.
Ew, what?
He's always giving me props for the music and stuff, and then some people are like, I hate the music. And then he's like, I love the music. It's like, this sums up the internet perfectly. Let's see. I used to have a buddy that drove for Landstar. Does Landstar still sell their trailers to individuals? So they, no.
Not anymore.
They stopped selling them to BCOs.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly probably because they're not even selling their trailers. They're still these ancient relics they're dusting off and sending back out on the road.
Well, that's something I will give to Prime. Prime had some newer trailers. Landstar, they will run these trailers.
Hold up.
One second there, sir.
I would agree with you, except for the market that we're in where nobody could get trailers. We saw a 16 Prime trailer rolling around. So that's pretty old in Reefer.
In Prime world, yeah.
For like a mega carrier.
Mm-hmm.
You know that bad boy has seen so many side swipes and lack of maintenance.
That inside is hurt.
Yeah, they cycle their trailers 5 years. The tractors are only 3 years.
That's why he had to double check that it was actually a Prime truck pulling it.
Used to.
Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you're right.
They used to be over. Right. Yeah, so it used to be like 4, and they would stretch it to 5-ish if they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like keep them as long until like the trailers start rolling back in.
That's a year over. But also, I feel like in the truck and trailer world, usually they're a year ahead. So like they're already getting 23s. So that's a really old trailer now.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
7, almost 8 years old.
Yeah, you're right.
How long did each of y'all work at Prime? Sorry, contract with Prime. Well, we were. I don't know. I don't want to throw shade and say we were misclassified for 3 years because I don't truly. I don't know. It's some gray area. We were almost 3 years. What about you?
So actually, this statement is true for me. So I worked at Prime and contractor Prime. So
That's true. You were
a company driver. Yep, I was a company driver for a year and leased for a year, and then.
But also, technically, I was.
Yeah, that's true. She was
a operator of Prime.
So you worked at Prime for sure.
Yep.
So about 2.5 years, and then bought my truck and left.
Yeah. So.
They gave you a half a reason. You were like, I'm out.
You know what? If I wasn't so set on like staying at 65, I'm not gonna say I would still be at Prime today, but that was just like the last kind of straw for me. It's like, okay, I bought my truck.
Man,
okay, can I turn it up? No.
There's just once you buy the truck, there's really no point in staying there.
Yeah, there's not.
Came for the brisket. Where's that at? It's sitting in a cooler right now, slowly dropping temperature because you have to let them rest. And if they let it rest in a cooler, all the juices stay in it. Let's see what we have. Yeah, just make sure the heavier trailers on the front and wiggling will be minimum. Yeah,
hi, Liam.
But I mean, ultimately, I think Landstar's really more concerned about just making sure you have any sort of experience
Mm.
in it.
This guy said he knows that we lease from a dealership. Just reading the comments.
Relationships are key here at Landstar. Not all the time, but having one or two near the house. Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure.
Yes.
For sure.
100%.
Absolutely.
We have gotten so many good loads out of home time from that one agent that we run for
Yeah.
all the time. And that was just started with just a cold call off the board.
Mm.
And then I guess he liked our
Started with a cold
communication.
text.
Yeah, that's true.
Cold text.
My man was hunting. He
Yeah.
was out in a deer stand
He's
when
like,
she
"Can we just
texted him.
text?"
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, okay.
What are the Landstar trailers that are super low to the ground, but they're vans?
Still vans, yeah.
Landstar trailer?
Yeah, they have a
Oh,
special. They have like 20 that I can't remember what products. It's the same trailers that they would use for.
Well, they're called Kentucky trailers. I know what trailers they are. I just didn't know Landstar had any.
Yeah, they have a very small few. I can't remember what they haul, but something that's like really, really high profile, like tall.
It's basically just a moving van trailer.
Yeah,
Is it-
yeah,
it's
that's
all-
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Mhm. So household moving. We have a household moving division.
I need to not be looking forward in the comments.
So if you lease from a company, they take truck payments weekly, but I know you guys lease from a dealership. We pay weekly, but we don't lease from a dealership.
I pay monthly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also not
You're-
from a dealership.
Yeah, yours is
Right.
paying from a bank, right?
From a bank, yep.
Kelly has reefer regulations, but maybe there's an exemption. Probably, since nobody could get trailers. Man. Whew. Yeah, make sure to hit the like button. Yeah, that'd be good.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about.
Can we jump ahead to this comment real quick because it's
Which
bothering
one?
me, and I'm pretty sure this the
Right?
one Liz read too.
Mm-hmm.
What,
this
this
one down
one?
at yes.
Ross is with me.
Why do you hate Prime?
When have we ever hated?
No one has ever.
When have we
So
ever?
on their channel, on my channel, any other former Prime drivers YouTube channel that I follow or watch along,
Right.
none of us has ever said that we hate Prime.
I defend Prime all the time. When do
Every
when do
chance
hate
I get, I
Prime?
defend Prime. Like I wouldn't be here without Prime. I say it all the time.
Right.
But none of us have ever said that we hate Prime. We
Look,
aren't going to
we
go
can-
back.
We can call out all the silly things that happen there. And
Yeah.
if you choose to ignore it and bury your head in the sand, that's fine. If you still work there and you want to defend them, that's fine. But I mean, yeah, I have nothing against Prime. I still send people over there
Yeah.
if they're brand new and want to
Mhm.
get experience. It was a great place to start. We
Yeah.
outgrew it. Our vision of what we wanted out of the company and what they wanted out of us did not line up, so we had to leave. And I mean, I don't think that we have said anything that was like egregious or anything. Like we tease at it, but I mean, all the stuff is true.
Mhm.
Like the trucks are governed at 65. You have no choice in the loads. It's
It's
not
half true.
forced. It's not.
No, it's not half true, Ross.
It's not forced dispatch, but then you get punished if you decline too many loads. So I mean, where's the lie?
Right.
I don't. None of us hate Prime. I don't know.
None of us has ever said it. It's like I get comments like this on my videos sometimes too, and it just like I've gotten to the point where I don't respond to them because it just
Yeah.
irks me so bad. I'm like, there's no nice way to respond to this.
Yeah.
But on a video, like you can see, like, because I know if I type it out, it's going to come out mean.
I mean, I think that's just people who think that if you have any criticisms of anything, that means that you hate it. But I think that we can have our criticisms all day long, but none of us have ever. I don't hate Prime.
I
We'd
hate
still
some of
be
the
there
things.
probably.
Some of the ways that they handled the stuff at the end wasn't
Yeah.
very.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
frustrating, but I don't
Yep.
hate them. You know, I didn't start a war against Prime, like
Yeah.
burn the buildings down or anything. You know,
But it definitely can work for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to work for everybody. I don't understand this thought of like why doesn't everybody love Prime? Like, not everybody has to love Prime. People who love Prime, people who Prime works for them, that's great, but it just doesn't work for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Like when I was at Prime, I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Prime up until I wasn't at Prime anymore. I also want to answer Ted's question.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Fire away.
So you can buy your own truck and you can delete it, as long as it passes a Landstar inspection. The only thing is you just can't go to California. But I know a lot of drivers that have deleted trucks. But there's
if the EPA is listening, he's just kidding.
What's a deleted truck? I don't know.
you know, you take off the governor. You know what I mean?
Oops.
No.
Yeah. Does it have to be within a certain age? So that you get mixed answers. So the people at Landstar that are already on there say no, but the people that are recruiting that do the initial stuff, they say
Is it 10? No.
15.
20, yeah.
Yeah, because they said 07 and up when we got on last year. So yeah, 15 years. But I mean, there's cab overs. I've seen cab overs. I've seen like I've seen some pretty old trucks on there. So
if it can pass an inspection, you can you can lease it on a Landstar.
The thing is, if you can run ELDs on it,
yes,
that's the ultimate requirement. It has to be able to run ELD, which I believe. Don't quote me on this because I'm not an expert on this, but I believe you can like retrofit even like really old trucks with like cable speedometers. There's a box that you can convert it to run ELD.
As it's news to me, I did not know that.
Let's see. Oh yeah. No, I mean we don't really put out our business of like where we got the truck and exactly all that stuff. But
yeah, I think we talked about it last live actually, but we generally don't ever talk about where we
I mean it wasn't anything like I don't think she remembered talking about that, or maybe you and I talked about it and she wasn't a part of it, so I don't know.
My memory is...
I could see how she thought that was weird that you knew too much.
No.
Who is this person?
Right? Yeah, backing with doubles or triples is a skill. That's why most people just pull through the fuel island and sit there for 30.
Oh man, I want to talk about the guy that was trying to sit in front of the fuel island for his entire 30-minute break.
Put him on blast. He
So
wasn't,
there was
he
this
wasn't
guy,
pulling doubles, though.
you know, he wasn't pulling doubles. There was this guy, was it CRST? What was the other one?
Sierra England.
Sierra England. So we pulled up behind him, took 12 minutes, 13 minutes, something like that to fuel. And we both ran in, went to the bathroom, came back out, and this guy's still sitting there. I'm like, yo, like you have to be done with your 30 by now, right? Because if you fuel for 10 or 15 minutes and then you pull up, like you should only have 15 minutes, 20 minutes left, right? Well, he'd been sitting there for like, I don't know, whatever. He had been sitting there before we got there. So I'm like, surely this guy has to be done with his 30. So yeah, I blasted the horn. Finally, I got out and I walked up there. I was like, hey man, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to finish my 30. I was like, but it is a tiny truck stop, meaning they had plenty of parking, but their fuel island was small.
Yeah, there's only like
so it's a busy fuel island. There are plenty of spots. Go sit in the spot for the rest of your 30. He's like, I just have 8 minutes left. 8 minutes? Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
Like, are you serious? He's like, do you need me to spot you to back out? I was like, are you serious? I had to woosah. Just like I hate when I feel myself losing control in those like instances. So I was like, I will not lose my chill on this guy right now.
Wow.
So I was like, if you don't move, like you can, the fuel island is not for your 30, and especially the fuel island is not for your entire 30-minute break.
Is that the company that has that bed above the?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no. Yeah, if y'all don't know, CR England goes hard with their team driving. They have a bunk that's above the driver's seat in the passenger seat, where normally like the swoop of the top of the truck. there's a bed there.
There were so many things I thought about saying after he finally started moving and I was able to get out. There were so many things I wish I had said to him, because like, how new do you have to be to not know that you can't just sit in front of the fuel island for your entire 30-minute break? That's not what it's for.
They
Like,
probably
are you
didn't teach
what?
them that on duty counts towards your break now. So you probably like fueled on
right.
duty and then started off duty like, okay, I need 30 minutes.
And-
But still, it should be common sense.
What I wanted to say to him when he offered to spot me to back out of the fuel island was, do you need me to spot you to back into a spot? Like, that's what I was like, man, that's what I should have said. But I always think of him later.
Well, I need me to spot you on your EOD because you're done.
Like,
You need to leave.
yeah, I was like, ELD crawl over to a spot.
Yeah.
I'm losing it.
I don't hate Prime, never worked for him. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's whatever. I mean, you can change the name and talk about any training company, and they're all going to be pretty close to the same, to be honest.
Some people spend their entire careers there. Some people spend.
I like the community
year there.
that the Prime had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like all the drivers and stuff.
Yeah, I do miss that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we tried to make it work for so long.
Have you been to Upstate? Yeah, the freight's actually
Yes,
pretty
I
good.
have.
In and out all the time.
There's a really
time.
good run of Cummins X15 motors that come out of. Do you remember that?
Are
city?
they still coming out of there?
Yeah, it's somewhere up
Was it
north.
Rochester?
Yeah, I think so.
Rochester sounds right.
And that goes all the way over to California. Pays really well. Drop and hook on both ends, easy peasy.
I was
but
like, I don't know that one, but that's why.
there is some
Yeah,
really
it's
good
good
stuff
stuff.
up there. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
No,
I
it's-
normally have great coming out of New
That was
York
like-
when I go up there.
Just in time stuff.
Hey now.
I mean,
do
he's
that
right.
all the time. Yeah, right. Where's the lie?
You're right. Like I said,
That all the
it don't
time.
have to. It doesn't have to look great. Now, I wish they would revisit that. Honestly, at Landstar, like, okay, your truck can't look like a Cracker Jack box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as long as it passes inspection, it is a road
Right.
legal.
I keep coming back to like Landstar to me. This is gonna sound super cheesy. Means freedom, which sounds like the cheesiest thing that I will ever say.
Yeah.
But everything about Landstar to me is about having the freedom to do what you want as long as it's safe, right? So
Mhm.
like you got to follow the rules, but you can have as old a truck as will run what they want you to run.
Yeah.
Like, so just the freedom to be able to bring pretty much whatever truck you want. I don't know. This Landstar means freedom to me.
This is what it means to be a Landstar.
Like, sounds super cheesy, but
Oh God, you remember those cheesy commercials that they would always play at Prime when you were in the cafeteria?
Oh, which ones?
The ones that repeated over and over and over.
I can't.
Like
Yeah.
the little safety thing.
Well, that and like, got to thank Prime for my opportunity to be an owner.
Yeah, those videos. Yeah,
No.
I've been at Prime for 27 years, and I can't see myself driving for anyone else.
Yeah, it was just the rah rah.
That's
Mm.
strong Kool-Aid.
Which there's nothing wrong with people working at Prime for 27
Right.
years. It just didn't work out for us. That's all we're
Reiterate
saying.
that.
Where's the
Not
tanker
either.
driver? He's busy, I guess. He didn't.
Yeah.
It was kind of a short notice. I text
Yeah.
Ross, and he's not doing anything because he's a slacker.
We're just happy to have Ross, okay?
Yeah.
Dang.
Can we talk about what you've been up to the last couple days? Because like,
You
I
say
saw-
dang to me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, I'm genuinely like, at least we like, I don't know. That sounds wrong, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You're
It makes
so
sense
mean
in my
to
head.
me.
Like,
So
I'm
you
happy
wanna-
to have you. Whatever
Right.
Travis is
Uh-huh.
doing, whatever. I don't
Thank
care.
you.
We have Ross.
That makes me feel better. Thank
Do you
you.
want to talk about what you've been up to? I saw the pictures on Facebook, and it was a little scary.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead and let everyone know.
So, well, actually, now that you mention it, I do have to upload a YouTube video. Thank you, Anthony, for the reminder. It's not a video about that though. But the past couple of days, I've actually been going back to school. So I'm actually back in school to get my private pilot's license. So, I've been going to the airport, flying up in the planes. The plane I'm flying right now, or learning to fly right now, is the Piper Warrior. It's like PA 28 dash something. But past couple days, I've just been going to school, learning checklists, learning everything in ground school. I've been learning online, but I just found it like a hobby that I wanted to really do. I wanted to be a pilot for a long time, and finally I just have the means to do it without like going to school and racking up a bunch of debt. I can just pay for it. So that's what I've been doing the past couple of days. I actually go flying tomorrow. I think we have like a 4 or 5 hour session, and then I have to go do my medical exam. But yeah, it's been fun. Not gonna lie to you. Ground school makes my head hurt every single day, but
I heard you
it's so
talking
fun.
about it, but then it was like, wow, he's really doing this.
Yeah.
When I saw the pictures with the control sticks in your hands,
Good.
and like I could tell the
Alexa.
cockpit was
In actual
it
in my
was like
presence.
an actual plane. It was like, huh, all right, we're just doing it.
I'll see if I can pull up that picture. Yeah. Will it come out okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first day flying. It was 2 days ago. Yeah,
You
my
have a
first day
not
flying was 2 days ago. I got grounded
screen
yesterday
protector?
though. You what?
Do you have a not glossy screen protector on your phone?
Yes. It's not the fingerprint smudge protector.
Yeah, it looks nice. That's why it looked nice. Anyway.
So
like-
how do they run with three drivers?
It's got like a little crack right here. You can barely notice it though. But outside that, it's been my brother bought me this phone case.
I guess you would run 8 hours each driver. I know one of them's the trainer, and then the other two are some
Permit
stage
holders.
of trainees.
So the answer to that question is the trainer has to be on duty for the time that both of those drivers have to drive. But you can go over on your on-duty clock, but that trainer cannot drive.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Hey man, we weren't talking bad about safety. I don't think just drivers.
Well, I mean, the whole like
Just the driver.
extra-
just just not the
Not
drivers, the trainers,
Yeah.
training,
You can find.
fuel island holders.
You can complain about any driver at any company. Like, it doesn't matter.
But you only keep that to yourself because none of us know how to pronounce the company name.
Roll.
Say it out loud.
well.
You can't.
You can't.
Every time. We
Every time I see it, I'm like, is that Roel? Right?
Roll.
I pronounce it
Roel.
Roel. I'm like, who puts an E there? That's what it's,
I think it's just roll.
Someone told me it was Roll, and I
Right, like-
argued with him for like
Just
5
like-
minutes about that.
Is the light not working again?
It's just the exposure. No, it's just the exposure. It's fine.
Whatever.
It's fine.
Just lean your head to the left.
We both leaned. I want
Right.
to.
You guys are definitely married for sure.
No.
Is this pronounced rail? Are you serious?
What?
Rail?
What?
No shot that's pronounced rail. Are you serious?
No way.
Hold on.
Have I been mispronouncing this company for the last
For
like, 5
years?
Even after somebody told me, I'm still mispronouncing.
No way.
Yikes.
It's pronounced rail?
No
Oh
way.
my god.
Hold on, let's get this one up here on the big screen.
Let's see a video.
I got a video to upload.
You talked about it.
Yeah. I see. You're behind. I already
Man,
noticed that.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
talk. I'm trying to run through
We've
the
been moving
comments.
forward. We're continuing to move forward.
See, his name is supposed to be Rick Roll. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I knew that's how we were going.
As much as fun I think it would be, I would never ever think about flying a plane. I hate even being in one. I've only flown because of You know what? I've been on so many flights, man. I love flying. And like I don't know. Like I'm just a driver, I feel like I like driving and I want to be able to drive all of the things.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm getting my license.
Yeah. Sounds exciting.
So something similar to this, I had a shipper. We were leaving the shipper and we were bobtail, and he asked me with a straight face if I was empty or loaded, and I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, are you empty or loaded?" I was like, "Neither." And we looked back, and he's like, "Yep."
Okay.
But we have all had those moments.
I would have said loaded. I would look at him with a straight face and say loaded.
Empty?
What up, Brian?
I was dying.
Yeah, see, that would get me too.
It's real.
If,
Right.
yeah, rail.
So that must be really difficult if you're working there. You know?
There
like
are some other companies that are like,
Yeah.
you have to spell it out.
That would be, I'm
Mhm.
trying to think of, I feel like there's an example somewhere in my head of something similar where you have to mispronounce it so people know what you're talking about. But yeah, if you told me, yeah, I work for Rail, like 100% would not think of that company.
Mm-hmm. How did I manage to get a Volvo out of Prime? So, I bugged the absolute mess out of Success Leasing. And so at the time that I was at Prime, they only had 26 Volvos leased on to Prime in the entire fleet. One of them was an owner op, and the other 25 were the tester group. And one of the testers quit. And at that time, I was emailing Success. I was emailing the owner of the company as well about ordering me me personally, a 2023 or 2022 at the time.
Yeah.
Volvo, just for me to run, like I was like, I'm just gonna lease purchase it, and you just use Prime, use Prime Inc. as the finance people.
Yeah.
And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, fair enough. And so, because I had all those interactions with Success, when one of the testers left Prime and got their own Volvo, they put that Volvo back on the list. But before they did, they called me like, "Hey, we just had someone turn in a Volvo. We know you wanted one. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." They were like, "Okay, when's the next time you're going to be back at the yard?" And I had a student at the time that we were going in to upgrade. So I was like, I'll be there tomorrow. And that's how I got a Volvo. So then at the end, because it was a tester, we were all 25 of them were supposed to be returned to Prime. But I got another call from Success like a month, 2 months before I was supposed to turn it in. And they were like, "Do you want to buy this Volvo?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." So I bought it.
What's up, Nevada? Maybe next time we plan to go live, I'll think about it ahead of time and I'll get with you, see if you're busy or not, and get you in on a live as well. That'd be fun.
I feel like all these people have told me now that it's pronounced rail, and I know for sure that when
I'm
I
gonna
get back on the
forget.
road, I'm gonna forget. It's gonna be roll again.
Rohel?
Just no.
Rohel.
Yeah. It's more fun to mispronounce it.
It is. But okay, rail. I will attempt to pronounce it right. Maybe on my
But
next video.
when you tell people I work for Rail, do they know who you're talking about?
Like the railroad? That would be my first question.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, do that. I think we had exchanged numbers somewhere in the email thread, but it's so far up there. Yeah, shoot me your number again, and I'll shoot you mine. We can text like modern people.
Modern people.
Uh,
I think there was another comment in here that we didn't answer, and it was a good question.
which one?
I don't know. I had to go back and look.
I'm gonna scoot out for a second. Gotta put the chickens up.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, so I guess, I mean, you just did the Schedule C and bought the truck out, right, for your Volvo?
I didn't have a Schedule C. So none of the Volvos had Schedule C because we didn't have an official contract.
Yeah, I got you.
So they were leasing them. So I bought out the lease and bought it.
The one that I trained in, it was one of the Volvos, and apparently at some point it rolled over from a trainee taking a corner too fast, and
Which is impressive to do. Volvos are extremely bottom heavy.
they have all the
Safety
stability
features.
control.
Yeah,
But
that's impressive.
I saw it at a truck stop. They put it back together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Bro.
you know what? Volvo's body shop is actually
Bro.
pretty good. Like, because like back when I had my accident, when I first had it, like my front end and my side got messed up, and after the insurance repaired it and he gave it back to me, like nothing ever happened. It did miss some paint chips, but everything else, perfect. Like, man. But I've seen a lot of the older Volvos, like the 390s.
Yeah.
They're still on the road.
I can't remember if it was 390021 or 12.
Mine was 390016.
Yeah.
And then I bought it and it's 239000.
Yeah, I would have to go way, way, way back in the photos, which I don't even know if I have on this phone.
Oh, I know I do. Matter of fact, one of my photos my first ever photo I took with that truck, when it was still 390016, and I picked up my first trailer right down the street from the terminal, and I took a picture of it. I was like, that's gonna be a great picture one day. So fast forward to like a couple of weeks ago, in a Facebook group, I'm not sure which one, but I got tagged in a picture that someone uploaded, and it was that picture that they took from my profile, and I'm like, this isn't your truck, this is my truck. Like, I still own this truck.
Right.
So they took it down.
I've had a lot of that happen with cars that I built in the past. It's pretty common, and like people will upload it to like Instagram or any of those apps and stuff and just perpetrate that it's theirs.
Right.
Like,
but it's such a strange thing.
It is. It is really weird. The first few times it happened, I was just like, why are you trying to? This is mine.
Yeah. Like, this is not your project.
Yeah. Probably not.
Also agree.
I don't want to deal with any of that.
This is not worth a headache, man.
No.
It's just not worth. I mean, I've considered it probably a little bit more than you have, but ultimately, I'm like, if I get a second truck, it'll be like a backup truck for me.
So my thing is, nobody's ever going to take care of the truck like you would take care of the truck, and I would like the truck taken care of because it's an asset that's already depreciating, and then the more that you miss the maintenance, the more it's going to depreciate and cost you money. Mm-hmm. So, and then also just finding a driver if one quits and just dealing with the problems that are going to come up with having the other driver. I don't really want to do it. It's just not for me. Yeah, most of them are, but I have seen some of them posted. I guess the stuff that they don't need, like right on time, there are solo. Did you catch all the chickens?
I did.
They sold 390025.
What's that?
Looking at the bins.
Oh yeah. Dude,
they got screwed.
Pedigree's site is nothing but internationals with like 500,000 miles on it.
I bet. I absolutely bet.
For like $90,000
with an international motor.
Yeah, I know.
Yikes.
Oof.
But that's crazy. They won 113,000 for it. Like when I bought mine, I had 236,000 on mine. 236,000 miles on mine, and I paid 87.
Woo!
Yeah, it was right before the truck market hike, and I was like, "Whoo, I got it good."
Yeah.
Is it worth getting a reefer trailer if you're joining Landstar? I don't know.
That's a loaded question.
So, what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more opportunities, but
also a lot less opportunities.
Yeah, at the same time, there's a lot less. So it's like, yes, you can run reefer loads in a reefer trailer, and you can run dry van in a reefer trailer, but reefer trailers are they are heavier, so your maximum load that you can run in there is significantly less. And I believe that you have to run different cargo insurance for refrigerated stuff.
And there are
you have a
some
higher premium.
customers that don't want metal floors, right?
Metal floors. Yep.
Yeah, because
It's a big thing.
they do need to run nails in some of them and bracing board and stuff like that.
Securement stuff. Yeah.
And also, there are a lot of loads that require track straps,
Yep.
which I know you can get. You can special order reefers with E-tracks, but the majority of the ones that you're just going to buy off the used markets are probably not going to have it.
Yep. And I see that you're coming from Prime, and Prime does not have the correct equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, no. I take that back. They do, but it's only on the intermodal reefer trailers that have the E-tracks on them.
Which, did you ever have the pleasure of pulling a Prime intermodal trailer?
I've had the god-awful pleasure of pulling one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was the worst
There's
load of my life.
They're so heavy.
Dude,
spring ride. Also, no airbags.
It's a
the
rough ride.
worst
Yeah.
ride I've ever felt. It was so bad. I could not wait to drop that trailer.
Yeah, I did a favor for Prime. I guess one of their intermodal drivers in New York like broke down or got sick, whatever. They're like, hey, do you mind switching to intermodal for like the weekend? I'm like,
Interesting.
do I get my trailer back? They were like, yeah.
So Smithfield loaded an intermodal trailer with our load, and so after a call to whoever was on the desk that weekend, we were like, can we even pull this? Like, he was like, yeah, you're good.
Prime pretended like they did it on purpose. They're like, yeah, sometimes we got to use the intermodal ones to move them around the different areas. Like, okay. We have the Cummins X15.
Yeah.
Efficiency.
It's fairly efficient.
It is.
So.
Pretty efficient.
Yeah, see, Nevada knows that A26 is nothing but problems, especially with the 500,000 miles.
Yeah, is that the international?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what that is.
That's the.
I'm with Liz. I'm like,
thanks, clues, sir.
yeah.
That's the ProStar.
Yeah.
The international motor.
I've got a
be honest, I'm coming from Prime.
Now, something just to quickly go back to that conversation for the reefer trailer.
The reefer. Okay, yeah. Okay.
The one good thing about having your own reefer trailer at Landstar, though, is you get 75% of the line.
Really?
And, well, there's a downside because you're going to go to a lot of the customers that you go with to Prime that waste your time for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But you can also get yourself into specialty stuff like hauling medicines and they have temp control, hazmat, and stuff like that.
It's always been my dream.
That pays really well. But the problem is when you get into some of these areas, like the only way out at a decent rate is going to be those like garbage, like grocers, like Walmart or any of those places. But
your backhaul won't be fun.
Actually, I just looked up like how much reefer freight Landstar has, and it's actually way more than when I first started. Now it's actually quite a lot of loads. I mean, 10% of the board is reefer freight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it several times. Like this comes up on a regular occasion. Whether we want a reefer trailer.
This guy's doing the teaming right. I say it every time. If it's not your significant other that you're teaming with, big yikes.
I mean,
you can only do
trainer.
it for so long. That's the ones that Prime has for sale. Yeah, they are selling an awful lot of their intermodals too.
So I feel like I heard, maybe I imagined it, do their new intermodal trailers have air ride? Or is that, I feel like.
Yeah, they got to upgrade or update.
Yeah, they did it's a whole new style trailer that they're doing now.
Because vans typically don't have a sliding curtain, so they're set up to load from the back. So, I mean, unless you go to like, I guess, I don't know, maybe like the same freight that Conestogas would run. I mean, most of the places aren't set up to load you from the side.
I don't have an answer to that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like they would care about a sliding curtain side van Because if you're getting loaded from the back and that
It's
forklift
similar.
goes to the, you know what I'm saying?
You're not talking about a Conestoga.
No,
The other
No.
type,
It-
right?
it's
Yeah, I know what
similar
you're
to
talking
a
about.
Conestoga,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
whole
Like
thing
sliding.
doesn't come off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, those are they load those for like flowers and stuff when you go delivered to like a Lowe's and things like that.
I guess I'm just confused by the question, but whatever. Hey, that's it's my life.
Hey, we don't know about that flatbed stuff, man.
You know what? Pulling coils is absolutely awful. I've done
How
that
do
in a
you know?
van. You can do that in driving,
Yeah.
but it was awful. That's actually how I got my first and only overweight warning, because I had to slide my fifth wheel. Awful.
Interesting.
Okay, I didn't know that you had an international. Blew up twice in 500,000 miles. That's big yikes.
Okay.
Hopefully, you guys weren't paying for it. Hopefully, it was a company's truck.
Yeah.
What kind of engine do you have?
I have a Volvo D13 engine, and it currently has 423,000 miles on it.
Is that a 12.9 or what was the displacement? Do you know?
There's a manual in the truck. I can text you the answer. I don't know.
I don't care the answer.
I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
It goes up the road.
He doesn't know the displacement, so he said there's a manual. He could tell me later. But I don't care. Somebody was asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so-
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So that's the thing. Like, if you don't know much about trucks and they don't have a whole lot in stock for you to look at, because like when it was time for us to pick out a truck, we wanted a Freightliner. We wanted a new Freightliner, and we were like at the bottom of the list for that day to pick out a truck. So I'm like, yeah, I think we're just gonna pass. We'll come back tomorrow. And they were like, well, we have these internationals. I'm like, yeah, I really don't want one. They were like, they're nice trucks. Have you at least driven one? Like, yeah, I have. Have you? Because
Right.
I don't think it's a nice truck for us.
The people that haven't spent a day in a truck in their entire
Right,
life are like,
is
it's a
telling
nice
us-
truck. No,
Yeah.
no. And if we are leasing this truck and responsible for the repair costs and everything else that goes along with that,
It's gonna be
I would
something I want.
pass. And like, we do not want an international, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
there's so many like known issues or like common failures of that A26. It's just not, to me, it's not worth it. Like, I know they do put the Cummins motors in some of the internationals, and I would rock it then. I mean,
Yeah.
the truck is nice, but that motor is not nice.
Mm-mm.
It's not nice.
I mean, I did my training in international, and we didn't break down a single time. And then I went on and got a Freightliner, and then that trainer got his next student and broke down. I was like, oh, I escaped it.
I mean, it just, it is what it is. Because I mean, like, Matt's trainer broke down
Man, we were in
his
the
Volvo. So it's
we were in the
like-
Bronx.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not gonna say like every Volvo is gonna just be a problem child, but I mean, my trainer, like, I had I want to say like the smoothest, like my training was pretty smooth, which I like looking back on. I'm like, that's probably not a good thing, because sometimes you want to go through some of those, like that adversity, so you can learn while you're with a trainer. So I didn't have a ton of like really good teaching moments with my trainer because everything just went so smoothly. And then we go out on our first load and the reefer throws a belt and it's just like, what
And the
are we
fifth
doing?
wheel
Yeah.
got jammed up. We couldn't pull the handle.
Oh,
So I'm out there beating it with a hammer.
We have gone through so much
It was
stuff
so bad.
after we get off the trainer's truck.
Uh.
But so, I mean, I say all that to say, like, everybody has different training experiences, like he got stuck in the Bronx, broken down with the Volvo. I had a perfectly good experience with our Freightliner on my trainer's truck. We had a perfectly good experience with our Freightliner at Prime, but we have a friend at Prime who's still at Prime who had a terrible experience with his Freightliner. So it's just like, there's no rhyme or reason.
I mean, all the trucks have very poor build
Yeah.
quality for as expensive as they are.
Let's start with that.
yeah.
Every-
yeah.
It works
single
from
truck.
there.
The problem is from the factory.
Right.
Yes. Have you ever done a floral load for Prime?
You know what? I have never done a floral load, and
Even the
apparently,
no-fly?
Never.
Well,
No,
they
I've
didn't
done
say
a no
touch
touch.
until after we left.
No, I've done a no touch.
Well,
There's always been no touch.
Yeah, we
well,
did
no, I
that
mean
one out to
like all of them.
Colorado.
All of them now are no touch.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, back when it was all touch, I've only done one floral load, and it was no touch and one stop.
Yeah, we did
We've done a couple.
two floral loads, but they were both no touch. Well,
Yeah.
one was supposed to be driver unload, but it was palletized.
Yeah.
But we got there and people were there and they were just like, "Go sit in your truck." We're like, "All right." Yeah. I mean, if you want to like corner yourself into doing what you're doing at Prime, just getting a lot more money to do it. I mean, you could grab a Prime trailer; it's fine. But if you want to be the most versatile and be able to haul like hazmat loads and all the other stuff, you really need E-Tracks. And unless you snag one of the ones from Prime that have that, I wouldn't bother.
Here's my suggestion, because you're coming from Prime, so you already know the reefer side. But if you come to Landstar, try dry van first.
Yeah.
And if you still feel like you want to do reefer, then make your decision.
Actually,
Absolutely.
to be honest, even if you wanted to try it at Landstar, there's an agency that has reefer trailers that you can kind of, I guess they do like some sort of like contract, and they give you the reefer to run. You still get the same split as normal. They take the trailer side, but it's all reefer freight, and they have direct freight. But if I had to guess, it's going to be a lot of like Walmarts or produce to, like Albert's Organics or Smithfield or whatever.
That sounded like hate. That was very specific on Albert. Yeah. I felt that. That was PTSD right there. I got that.
Nah, Ross has all his body panels and they're not zip tied on. He's not part of that mafia.
Nah, I'm on I've got a blue Volvo.
Yeah, his Volvo's not even white. I can't even say Volvo right now.
Well, I mean, just in that gang, you can have a different color truck and still be in that gang, but it's got to be real beat up.
Nah, my truck still is brand new.
I'm not touching this conversation. We're talking about colors and gangs, and nope, I'm out.
Well, thank you.
It looks black there.
Well,
this is nighttime.
Picture.
Yeah, that too.
And it's a picture.
Yo, that drone footage at Laredo, man, that kept me entertained while they were loading us. They were so petty. Like our original appointment was 8 a.m. and then the dock manager called us the day before and said, "I got you in at 7 if you're good, if you're gonna be here." I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna be there in like an hour." This was like the day before. So we got there and then the people checking us in was not the person that called us, and they were like, "Yeah, your appointment's at 8." I'm like, "Oh, well, what's his name said 7." You're like, "Yeah, go ahead and back into whatever door." And then they waited until 8:02 to start touching the truck. There's not another truck. There was one other truck, but he was already loaded and gone.
I'm just always happy to be in a door.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that's kind of like my hierarchy of like, if we're going to have a good time at a shipper or receiver, is like, when I go to check in or I pull up to the gate, do you give me a door?
Yeah, I feel like you always know you're going to have a bad time. If you're like, go ahead and stage on the left side, like,
exactly.
We'll give you a call. What's your
yeah?
I'm like, no, please.
No. Sit me in a door. I don't care how long it takes to load
exactly.
me. Just put me in a door.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can put us in a door, and if you tell us like, "Hey, we're running way behind," I'm gonna be cool with it.
Awesome. Yeah.
If you sit me out in the parking lot waiting for a phone call,
and don't let me fall asleep.
You got that 2-hour clock is ticking.
Yeah.
But you put me in a door and be like, "Yo, it's gonna be a little while." I'll be like, "Cool. I'm gonna get lunch. I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fire up the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll be okay."
Luckily, I feel like we don't run into that, like, go wait in the staging area or we'll call you with the door. We haven't run into
I don't run into that nearly as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we barely and we know it ahead of time going in the places that are going to hold us, and we understand that.
But like, going back to the guy that wants to do reefer at Landstar, try driving.
Yeah,
try it out.
It was such a game changer coming over and doing like hazmat drive-in or like
hazmat drive-in.
When you're booking the loads, you can ask who the shipper is, who the receiver is.
You
And
should
Mhm.
ask.
You
Yeah.
should absolutely
Not
ask.
you can. You should ask.
so if they'd say like, yeah, it's going to be Target on the receiver, and that is not a good paying load, or if it's like just meets your criteria, could be better, it's not bad,
Gonna have a
it's
bad
not going to be
time.
worth it. So you just don't
Actually,
do it.
even one worse, if they tell you Home Depot, just hang up.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if they
hang
tell
up.
you it's a drop and hook. Like,
Yes.
nah.
Yeah, there's been exactly one agent that called us.
That
when we
lady,
called,
yeah.
that we ran a Home Depot load. She's like, if they don't have a trailer there, I have other trailers in the area. Like, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
So
Because I told her straight up, I was like, hey, my big objection right now is this drop and hook stuff. And I've heard a lot about Home Depot not having empties. She's like, I promise you, there will either be one there or I have a few miles down the road where I maintain a trailer pool. I was like, all right, I'm trusting you. But then it was overweight too.
yeah,
Mine was overweight too. The one time I took it, I didn't have an issue with trailers, but I was overweight and
Allegedly,
they
it was
left for the
overweight.
day. No, they made me go scale it and I had to bring it back.
Well, ours
Really?
was allegedly.
Oh yeah, yours was. Yeah.
we
It
shifted some stuff around and we made it work.
So what agency? So the agency it's called Lambos, but I don't know their agency code. But if you ever make it over to Landstar, I can get you the number for the agency. Walmart keeps you forever. Yeah, man. They just want to be good friends.
But say it's the same at Landstar too.
Oh,
All those Walmart accounts.
if we're talking about places that keep you for a while, sometimes Best Buy as well.
Yeah, Best Buy is hit or miss.
Yeah, they can.
We've rolled in and
we've had a lot of good experiences with Best Buy. We've also recently had a not great experience with Best Buy. But when we run Best Buy loads, we always work with a really good agent. So we know that.
I've never had an issue with Best Buy. It was always been.
Didn't you say that you had read some stuff about some Best Buy experiences before we took the first one? Yeah, some people.
So general Best Buy freight is trash.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, I need the electronic side.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So the expedited stuff that we do, usually gets you in and out. Except
they forgot us last time. Like we were on the very last door. I
had to go in and act real ignorant.
Yeah. Fun time.
And then they wanted to get rid of me because I wouldn't go back out to the truck. I stood in front of the window until finally they were calling the people and they were like, "Can you please figure out what is taking them so long?" Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, we're done. We're just waiting on the paperwork." She's like, "I will go get the paperwork myself." Thank you.
Yeah. That's funny. See, Cisco knows what's up. Sapphire.
You know what?
What's that? Oh, the
Sapphire truck.
Sapphire truck.
Yeah,
yep.
I call my baby. I gotta upload that video.
And, yeah.
Drop and hooking. Yeah, it's not as fun at Landstar.
I do not drop and hook. I did drop and hooks at Landstar for like the first 3 months. And then as soon as I got that brand new trailer, never did it again.
Deal with King of Freight, man. They suck. No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Is that an agency or is that a customer?
That feels like an agent. King of Freight.
That's a pretty presumptuous name, though.
All I think of is what is truth? What is untruth?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh, when we get out of trucking, man, I'm going to have nightmares with that.
The freaking hold music, man. Oh,
it's so
God.
bad, but it's so funny.
It's a Lambo.
Every Landstar driver knows.
Lambo. Lambo, like a Lamborghini. Lambo.
Landabos.
It's an agency. So I have heard other people on the spot market. I'm assuming talking about that same one, but no, I don't think they deal with. Yeah, I don't think they deal with Landstar.
I was gonna say, is their agency code KOF? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite agency name so far has been Little John.
Yeah,
they're actually pretty good.
I like hauling for them. Well, I liked hauling for them.
They
were good to me.
Pretty much anything starting with AU and then whatever letter at the end, I immediately hate because it's most likely Taylor Corp, Austin Group.
Yeah,
and I don't like.
But you know what?
Well, the JD.
I've had good experiences with Taylor Corp.
I have
we
too.
have too. To be fair, to be fair, but
So yeah, it's not one of the things like we immediately say absolutely not.
Yeah.
We just go in knowing that once you book it, you are going to be 100% on your own if anything happens.
But it really, that's one of those things where like you can't generalize, because we've had some really good agents with Taylor Corp, and then we've had some really not great agents that you can't get a hold of, and they just leave you out to do your own thing. But we have had a couple of really hands-on, really good agents with Taylor Corp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and JDP, JDY, JDX, all the JD ones, they do mostly hazmat. So I feel like you can't.
Do
Yeah,
They do both. But
Yeah,
JBX, I've done JBX load.
they do a lot of hazmat, or like at least that's what comes up on our searches.
That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean we don't do the.
Man, you can't even search by hazmat only anymore.
Nope.
So
But
disappointed now.
yeah, I mean we've dealt with them. They're Taylor Corp, Boston.
Yeah, I was just about to say
whatever.
that, Ben.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think on the hazmat
Yes.
side, I don't know, they have a certain obligation. I guess it hasn't been bad.
Yeah, when I pull JBX, it's Home Depot. Ben's right.
What's that?
JBX, the agency. That's where I got my Home Depot from.
Yeah, they do Home Depot. Yeah.
Mm.
And they did something else. I can't remember what, but I mean, we book with them a lot for the hazmat stuff, and they've even called us that day that we left. That one shipper that sat us there for a while, and then
Is that the guy that keeps calling you? And you
yeah,
have to keep reminding him
goodness.
why we don't work with them?
yeah. But we called JDP or JDX, whatever, one of the numerous extensions that they have,
Yeah.
and they got us a load that day that paid like $5 a mile.
Was that
It
the
was
one?
good.
So that was the one that we called right after?
Yeah.
Like, it was calling on a load for
Yeah,
the next
it
day.
was for the
and
next
she was
day.
like,
Mm.
can you do one tonight? We were like, I mean, yeah. And we've actually gone to that shipper again.
How long
since
does
then. was
that
good.
brisket have to cool for? Overnight, man. You can't rush the process. When
Overnight. I'll be there
Yeah.
tomorrow.
when the liquor bottles are empty, that's when you can go diving in the brisket.
That's how you know I'm drunk. Like when my neck gets red. Yeah, so the longer you rest meat, the better. So what was the joke that we heard about the first, like when we were first researching everything? They were like, the way you really know that somebody's good at smoking brisket is like how long they rest the meat.
Yeah.
Like, that's the number one question, is like, how long do you let it rest?
So a lot of places just say like leave it on the counter for an hour, but really if you put it in a cooler and it slowly cools down, you get the best result. So, well, the story of why we don't work with them. Okay, so it was this agency. They called us, like cold call, and the load sounded really good, and it was light. It was like display fixtures for like a museum or something like that. It had like this metal housing, and it had some like overhead lights or something like that. It was like 3 or 4 of them, so it was super light.
Yeah.
The rate was good. It was close to where we dropped off. It was going to an area where we wanted. So we said, yeah, sure. And then, so we get to the place and we're waiting, and it's first come, first serve. And then there's like 3, 4, 5 trucks come in after us, and they all get doors. We're still sitting there. I go in and talk to the people, and I'm like, hey, first come, first serve or nah? And they're like, no, it's first come, first serve.
Nah.
I was like, okay, well, the 4 trucks that just rolled in, I mean, they're sitting in a door, and we're sitting in the parking lot. So what's up? They're like, we'll call you when your door is ready. I was like, oh, okay. So 2 hours rolled by, which is the time that we, give shippers.
I think we were texting Ross that day. Was that the day?
No,
I remember this.
No,
I
that
remember
was the
this.
Seattle one. That was different.
Oh, that's right. That was the Seattle one. Yeah.
So-
yeah, different one.
So I let the agent know at about an hour and a half in. I'm like, hey, in 30 minutes, we're leaving. So I'm giving you the opportunity to fix this if you can in the next 30 minutes, or at least get us some progress, because I'll wait a little bit longer if you make some progress. So they start calling them, and then we get an email, because this was like a third-party brokered load from C.H. Robinson.
Yeah, of course.
So then C.H. Robinson's emailing me saying,
Please
have
wait.
them stay there. We will pay them whatever it takes to get them to stay there. I'm like, okay, well, how much is that? And she's like, well, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, that's going to be a big factor on if we stay or not. So she's like, please, 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 please stay there. We're working on this. I'm like, you have 20 minutes at this time. So if there's no progress in that 20 minutes, we're gone. You know, it's not like an empty threat of we're leaving.
Mhm.
So the time gets closer and closer, and then I get a phone call from Landstar. Normally, Landstar doesn't have any dealings in your day-to-day stuff. They shouldn't be calling you. There was not an issue. So this lady says, yeah, so I'm working with an agent that you're currently booked on, and they're saying that you want to leave the shipper. I'm like, yeah, we have been here coming up on 2 hours, and we're going to leave. She's like, they really, really want you to stay. I'm like, I understand that, but they can't tell me how much they're going to pay us to stay. They can't tell us when we're going to get a door. It's first come, first serve. And now at that point, there was like 6 or 7 trucks that had come in and gotten doors, because you sit there literally across from the dock. So I could see everyone backing in as they rolled in.
Mhm.
So she's like, well, we don't normally have issues with this agent. I was like, okay, but how many issues have you had with us? Because you normally don't have any issues with us either. So we're on an even base. So that's a non-issue. So she's like, they really want you to stay, but we can't make you because it's your business. I'm like, right. Like, we're leaving in 10 minutes. So then I was like, it like clicked in mid conversation with this Landstar lady. I was like, because I was waiting for a callback of the agent to see what the resolution was. So I was like, so how can this lady call you in this time when I'm waiting on a phone call for her, but she's so busy dealing with this that she can't call us back, but she can call Landstar to tell on us to try to get us to stay. So I was a little bit irate at that. I was like, how does this even work? You can't call me back, but you can call Landstar. So that Landstar agent called, the Landstar rep called the agent, and then the agent immediately called me back. She's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to call Landstar on you, and it sounded like I upsetted you. And
yeah, like, nah, lady, I'm leaving.
I was like,
Yeah, it was bad.
you said you were going to call me back, and
Instead you called them.
Instead you called Landstar to like tell on us or whatever. Like, they cared. And she's like, no, please, we'll pay. I'm like, how much?
Pay what?
I don't know.
So after that, yeah, and she said, well, I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, you can find another driver and you can let them know. So
Mind you, too, this was towards the end of the day, and I don't think that shipper was 24 hours.
Nope.
So like, if they can't tell us when we're gonna get a door and it's 5 o'clock and they leave at 6, like, what are we even doing? Is this going to get pushed to the next day? Like, this is how people get in these situations, is like, you keep giving the agents chances and chances and chances. And I'm guilty of giving people way too many chances, but that's how you get in those situations where you're stuck without a load and it's 7 p.m. and nowhere's going to load you.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the guys on Discord his load got pushed back. It was supposed to pick up on a Thursday. It got pushed back to the Friday. And then that Friday rolls around and they cancel it after like 5 or 6 p.m. So like, they're stuck for the weekend.
Oh, you're stuck for the weekend, yeah.
I mean, he managed to find like an IKEA drop and hook, but it's still like, that's pretty. That hurts.
I feel like this is a good point to say, like, if you're in the trucking industry in general, like, I don't want to say just owner ops, but like, trust your gut.
Yeah.
Like, of the time, trust your gut, because every time you don't trust your gut, you will regret it.
So are you looking to leave Prime, or are you just looking to buy a truck and stay with Prime? Because if you're looking to leave Prime and you have some money saved up, join the Discord and message me, and I can let you know what we did or give you some other options if you wanted to get a different truck.
Because they took out the, was it Schedule C?
They're putting it back.
Are they? I mean, I figured they would, but
yeah, I think September or October lease purchase is coming back. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I figured they would, but I didn't know at what point.
I may have seen a YouTube video on that.
Who's YouTube?
Right.
The third worst pilot just south of Minneapolis. Which one? Is that where we stopped at the other night?
No,
Okay.
no, because we weren't south of Minneapolis. We were to the
Where
north
is
on all
Travis? Yeah, I don't know. I messaged him. He's busy with the family. I think he
Yeah.
was on some time off, so today's the last day before he goes back.
Oh, that's
to work.
right. Yeah, he's
the
going back on the
family
road.
stuff.
So your experience with IKK, did he try to recruit you for his dedicated
Is that
stuff?
that one? That's what I was
And
thinking.
then, yeah, he posts all these loads that are just they're like $7.50 a mile, and they have like 3 or 4 stops, but the load doesn't exist.
Outrageous.
He wants to recruit you because they have these special trailers that have the crane in them.
Yeah.
So you go to Iowa, you take a training class, you get a trailer, and you go back down to like Mississippi or Louisiana. I can't remember exactly where.
Mississippi, I think, yeah.
And then you get dispatched. You're forced dispatch. And you have to run a certain number of loads a month in order to continue to keep the trailer.
Mm.
That was
But
the
why
sound
can't you
of
just say that?
forced dispatch.
You know?
Yeah, the reason I look confused right now is because you pulled this comment up, but this person retracted this comment. I'm like, how do you see this comment?
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I forgot you're using StreamYard. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
why we don't take comments back.
I'd be interested to know what the experience was, though.
I would be too.
Yeah, so when we called him, he went through this whole list of questions and he got to, are you a team? And we said, yes. He said, can't work with you. We were like, wait, why? He said, because the customer doesn't want to. Or customer asked for no teams. We were like, what?
Yeah, so come to find
Customer
out,
asked for no teams? What? Why?
he's the
Yeah.
one dispatching the stuff. So
He's the one asking for no teams.
Oh, so he didn't want teams.
Right, exactly. But he didn't say that. So
What, did you tell him running team was optional?
exactly.
Well,
we've
we've never had an issue
conversation.
because if we chose to take a solo load as a team, that's our prerogative. Like, what do you care how many people are in the truck that can drive?
We've literally taken a solo run out of California, and that agent that we've worked with multiple times was like, I don't need a team on this. So we're like, we don't care.
Yeah, just
Give it
put
to
us
us.
on
We
it.
don't care.
Like, why would it matter? Like, your stuff is guaranteed to get there on time, no
Right.
matter
Yeah.
what. Like,
Right.
we
So
will
if
never
the
run out
customer
of
calls
time.
and change their mind, like, you know what, we would like this today instead. Like, cool, I have
Right.
the
Well,
EOD
because
clock.
Matt was talking
Apparently,
about
it doesn't have enough freight volume.
yeah, the
Mm.
situations where they'll be like, you need to get back to Mississippi right now.
Yeah.
Like, what if you're a solo driver and you can't get back to Mississippi tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, from California, like
You're responsible for your deadhead back to the place, or your backhaul
ugh,
to get back to the
No.
place to get forced
exactly.
dispatch
That's what
again.
I'm saying. No, thank you.
Yeah, Nevada. So any Landstar loads that you see that are on the board are ones that they have tried to swindle
Nobody
Landstar
wanted.
drivers into taking, and nobody wanted that garbage. So then it
Yeah.
gets to the spot market, and
Extra
nobody wants
garbage.
that garbage either. And because I'm sure they take some off the top and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
But just to be clear on something, like I see a lot of people say that Landstar loads, the phrase Landstar loads, like Landstar
Yeah, they
doesn't
don't
have
have
any
any-
customers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's Landstar agents that are
Yeah.
putting it on the load boards.
we
But
know
yeah.
what he means. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they have zero freight. So all right. So let me talk about this 2-hour rule because everyone gets all hyped and they're like, "Yeah, get them 2 hours." So
I
So
also want to weigh in on this, but go ahead.
I want to make
Yeah,
a
it's
new
the same.
video on like following the trends of the market because you can't make a hard fast rule and stick with it the entirety of your trucking career because at that time when we had that 2-hour rule, we also sorted loads by we didn't take anything over 35,000 pounds. We didn't take anything less than $4 a mile. We didn't take so we had this long list of criteria of the loads, like 0 stops. We didn't want to do any stops.
Yeah.
So we had this long criteria of loads, and we were getting them because at the time the market was on fire, and they needed us way more than we needed them. So now we need them way more than they need us. So there's 10 drivers looking at that same load. So this 2-hour rule that we had kind of is flexible now because there's so many variables that go along with it. Because if it's at the end of the day, you're not going to get anything the next day. If it's on a Friday, you're going to be pretty much without a load Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if we know it ahead of time, we don't just leave. If there's good communication, we don't leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was always flexible. We were always flexible with it.
Yeah.
But definitely when the freight market shifts and it's not in your favor anymore, you have to be understanding sometimes. But there's so many factors. It's so hard to say. Like, it's so hard to draw a hard and fast rule where it's like absolutely in this situation, because there are so many factors.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, the 2-hour rule it used to be like a line in the sand. You don't pass at 2 hours.
2 hours and 1 minute, I am pulling out that gate.
Unless there is a very good reason. But right now, like, we had to shift with the market as well. So if it's a really good load taking us to a good area, or if we have a load booked after that, you know, like, we suck it up and we take a little bit of extra time. But I mean, if it's a ridiculous amount of time that they're holding us, I mean, we'll still dip out.
Yeah.
But
communication is absolutely key in everything in life. Communication.
I'll sit an entire day in a door if you tell me what's going on, but I will not sit for hours and hours if you just
don't
park
pick
us
up
somewhere.
the phone.
People are so afraid to tell people bad news.
Yeah.
That they really like, they do it to themselves.
But it really doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, if you tell me what's going on, we're way more understanding.
We're not everybody, but those bad situations are generally people that don't want to communicate. They don't want to tell you the bad news.
What's going on? The former prime trucker Rob,
formerly known as
the guy that never responded to my text message.
Hey, Chucker Rob, are you still at home? Because me and Chucker Rob live like 20 minutes from each other.
True.
And like, but we're never home at the same time.
Drinking and smoking is Landstar. Yep, I'm getting a drug test when we get back on the road, I'm sure.
You definitely are now.
Yeah, also,
before.
it's also
we thought about that too.
That certain agency, there's just a whole lot of nonsense on that, a lot of bait and switch, which is very disheartening for a direct shipper, since they like to put themselves on a higher pedestal than your typical.
His freight did sound really cool though. Like we were at the place that we ended up getting a load out of. I can't geography right now. Whatever. Wherever we were, we got a load out of there.
Westlake, Louisiana.
Westlake, Louisiana.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, I don't even Mississippi. I don't know. Anyway, there was another agent or not agent. Oh my gosh, you guys. There's another driver there, which they did not have the size flame retardant suit for Matt, so I had to go back there and deal with the load.
She had to go pick it up as a solo driver.
So anyway, he was talking to the guy's wife, and she was telling him about that IKK freight that her husband had run in the past. And it did sound really cool. Like, I mean, was it like tire machines and alignment machines? And
machines for dealerships and body shops.
We're like, yo,
or hospital beds.
I'm about this right now.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
But also.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, man.
Not about it.
I'm gonna make a video on, like, because I see people that are coming over to Landstar now, and they're like dead set to get over to California, but like California is not the market that it used to be even 6 months ago.
Oh God.
Even as a team, it's difficult. So you have to shift with the market. Like you can't stay in the same ways. You have to constantly evolve if you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you guys played around with that capacity portal yet?
Not really, because it doesn't matter to us.
I really like it.
I think that's only. I don't know. I think it would only be beneficial for us if we didn't book day of. Like, we don't book day of. We're always like booked out.
You're saying if we did book day
of? If we did book day of, yeah.
I go on there for the lulls. I'm playing. I do it for like the trend.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only reason I go on there.
Need to look at it more.
Maybe I need to look at it more and see. Maybe I have not given it the credit it deserves.
Well, that's the reason I was asking, because they do have like a market section of like, hey, in this area or this state, rates are going
That'd
up,
be cool.
rates are going down. So yeah,
Maybe
they have that tool on there now.
Maybe I'll
They
check
have
it
it
out
every week.
and I can make a video on it or something.
Yeah.
How much for a brisket? Man, that brisket that we got was like $110.
So we cut in half.
Yeah.
So the brisket that we smoked today
It
is
is
like a
18
$50
pounds
brisket.
though, so
Good Lord.
$50 brisket.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
it's
will
only
last a long time.
$54 on the one that we cooked, but
Can you just put some in a Ziploc bag and ship it to me next day? You know,
good.
good.
Tomorrow's Monday. We could do it.
True.
See, if you drive north and we drive south, we can meet in the middle, probably in like North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Actually no. Well, I need to go to North Carolina, but I forgot I'm leaving tomorrow. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're on home time, so I'm not driving down there.
I'm supposed to be on home time. Man,
Do you
my
want
home
to take
time
this?
is 2 months.
You want to take this question because I don't know anything about Canada. It doesn't
yeah.
exist to us.
I can. I've
I'm
been
gonna make another
monitoring.
Okay.
I've been monitoring some of the loads going to Canada. The rates are actually going up if you have your passport and you're vaccinated. I've noticed the rates are actually getting higher from when I ran rates going into Canada. Now, that does entail that you have to do a few things, like you need to have your passport, you have to have your vaccinations. Now you have to qualify with the Canadian government through their Canadian website of why you're traveling to Canada, how often you're traveling to Canada, what, how you're getting into Canada. So it's a bit more complicated to get into Canada now. But if you can, I mean, the rates are there, even if what I would recommend is exactly what I did is I would book a load going into Canada, but I would make sure it's close to the border.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to book a load in Canada and bring it back. I can just cross the border empty, which is a whole lot better than bringing freight back.
Are you even able to haul freight from Canada back to the U.S.?
Yes.
Okay.
hmm You just can't do
Landstar doesn't
Canada to Canada.
Go to Mexico.
You ever
The
went
next,
to?
yeah, the Mexico.
No. So they have a
We don't. Yeah.
terminal in Laredo, so they transload everything. They back up the trailers from Mexico. They have a whole Mexican operation.
Yeah, I have some cool pictures of the.
Yeah, and
the Mexican trailers.
They move it from one.
I think they're
trailer.
cool.
What are you laughing at?
Watch how quick Sozo works, boy.
Oh,
What?
It was immediate. I was
did you have
looking
to
at
ban
the-
somebody?
No.
What I miss?
They're held for review, but it was funny. I live in Asheville, North Carolina, so not too far from either of you guys. I would like to get some more info in the specialized dry van freight, such as what I'm
Are
doing.
you at Landstar?
Michael, yeah. I think no, he's coming to Landstar, I believe.
So if you join the Discord,
yeah.
Someone drop the link.
there are
Yeah.
a bunch of us that can tell you which Facebook groups to join, and that'll kind of give you a foot in the door if they need a driver. And then, like we talked about earlier, I don't know if you were in here then, but once you kind of get in with one and you're not a complete disaster, as long as you listen and do what they tell you to, then you'll kind of get on that like list, and then and then when they need other drivers. Oh no, riding with Kev's here. What's up, buddy?
Riding with Kev, the
He's in the
Swift
vacuum
driver.
Boiled to reheat works great. Yeah, absolutely.
It never makes it to the vacuum seal bags though.
Yeah, so we always have good intentions.
We'll see if there's even any left when my parents get back on Wednesday. Like
that is very true.
They're always like, we want to try some of your smoked stuff, or when they're gone and we're like doing like a pork shoulder or something. They're like, we want to try it. We're like, it's all gone.
Does it still feel like OTR?
Which part? The concert stuff?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
that's got to be a weird feeling since you're. How many miles would you say that you run an average week?
0. I've spent more time sitting this year than actual driving. which is fantastic because I get paid
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
But like, I think my total, and that's another tool that I use for that capacity portal for. Like, I've done 38 loads this year, and my average is well above like $4 or $5 a mile. But also, we don't really go anywhere. So, like, depending
Yeah.
on where the show is, like, I could do 12 miles in a week, or I could do 3,000. It's extremely
Yeah.
rare I do 3,000. But a lot of time it's just sitting, which I enjoy because I get to clean and play video games and do nothing and hang out with my team. And
Yeah, and you get paid basically a daily rate whether you're running or not.
mhm.
It's always sounded super appealing to me.
Yeah.
Dude, like I have revisited, like, are you sure we don't want to try this?
Yeah, it's like out of this whole
Big
year,
commitment,
so
though.
8 months in, I've only done like 30, 32, 33,000 miles all this year.
Yeah. But I mean, I see all the upsides of like, I mean, fewer miles on the truck means less maintenance, like
Mhm.
less wear and tear, but you're still getting like really good money. So when you're looking at the money that you're getting, you can't divide it the same way that you would if you were running those miles, right? To get $4 or $5 a mile, or I don't know, the flat rate a day. Like if you're running 500 or 600 miles a day and getting that money's not as valuable as when you're running 10 miles a day and getting
Mhm.
that same money.
Right.
So I totally understand it from that aspect. But I guess our question is, for us personally, like, how much sitting is too much sitting? Like,
Yeah, that's a good
how so
question.
crazy would we get?
I mean, the pay would still be the same, but I mean, like for me, at least the contract that I'm on right now, the most we've sat has been roughly about 9, 10 days with absolutely doing nothing. And then, I mean, yeah, it's about probably that's been the longest.
Do you ever get like a rental car or anything? Like, do you ever think about like you do?
Yep.
Because me, I feel like I'd be like looking at Airbnbs in the area and like
Normally I don't.
cars.
Um, Normally I don't, but this last kind of stint that we did, one of the cities we stopped in, I did. But
Yeah.
the only reason I did is because the city I used to live in. I was like, oh, I'm
Okay.
about to go see my old friends instead of
Yeah.
sitting in my truck for a week.
Have you heard from JJ?
Yes, actually. We still text from time to time.
See, so Landstar doing well.
He is still at Landstar. Doing well, I have no idea. But he asked me around, just
I mean, if he's still
questions what he
here,
needs to
he
know.
has to be doing fairly well, right? Like,
He's alive. That's about the best I can tell you.
Liz and I did not meet at Prime. We were married prior to that.
He made that joke at orientation, and people believed him.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
God.
we met on the Greyhound over here," and people believed him.
We got married. Stopped over in the chapel on the way.
Yeah, guys, we totally met on the Greyhound, and we
That's
have the same
hilarious.
last name.
So I was born in California and grew up in Georgia. So I'm from Georgia. And I met Matt and Liz at Prime in the cafeteria.
Yep. With the driver lineup and
Wow.
I think Heathens.
One other person. I think it was Heathens too. No, it wasn't Heathens because I met Heathens for the first time at Fire Nights.
Yeah, I don't remember who else.
But there was a third person.
Yeah. Let's see. Who is Sozo? He's our bouncer, man. Don't mess with him.
He's our everything.
Yeah.
Look,
Sozo's
Sozo, you need to. Me and Sozo need to have a conversation.
Yes, you do.
Pull out that
Sozo.
wallet.
Yeah.
Conversation.
No, pull out that checkbook. Shoot, I know these numbers gonna be high.
Make this website. Here's my credit card.
Yeah. Do what you do. Here you go.
Yeah.
What is Discord Squad?
Discord.
It's
Oh, God.
we have that Discord.
Well, bro.
Because Ben said Discord Squad. So
Yeah.
if you're in the Discord, you're part of the Discord Squad.
But like, hit that comment's insinuating that Discord is for kids.
I think it's the word squad kind of a thing.
Wow.
Maybe.
If I were to take a guess.
I've only ran 42,000 miles at Prime. Southeast Regional. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Pretty good area.
Yeah.
Try to do higher revenue and lower miles. Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get over to Landstar, then you will see how much easier it is to make the higher revenue and lower miles.
Mm-hmm.
So much less fighting, like
And
zero
have,
fighting.
Like zero.
Zero fighting.
Full control
100.
over what loads you take. So you know ahead of time when you go into an area how many loads are coming out. So you can call on the next one after you book the first one.
Would that be like 100% less fighting?
Yeah. No, we don't have no loads in your area, but can you relocate 700 miles to Arkansas? Like,
Yeah, right.
No.
We can't tell you what you're going to get,
I
but just
cannot.
trust the process.
yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, there's a bunch of checkpoints. So within 200 miles of a border, the Border Patrol has authority. So you'll find it a lot of the interstates or like state routes that leave Laredo or any of the border cities and stuff. There's going to be checkpoints where you have to go through and proclaim if you are a U.S. citizen, and if there's anyone else in your don't turn it down. Right? Yeah, I think
we're just it's so opposite of Ross. Look how dark.
Well,
Ross's
that's because
screen is.
Oh, that's just me. Yeah.
Okay, I keep the lights up.
Hold on.
Yeah, and they'll wake up your co-driver if you have one.
They're not supposed to,
but they do, because they know they can get away with it.
Man, Terry from Tim's Travel, wasn't he a lawyer too? I don't think any of us are that cool. That's a different level.
Yeah, I remember Tim.
He always does the trucking facts from the cities that he's going through and stuff. And then,
I've never watched that.
Yeah. Somebody asked earlier, I didn't put the question up, but do we watch a lot of the Prime people? I really don't anymore because I can't really relate to the story.
I can't.
As when we were at Prime, it was a little easier to relate because you're going to the same company and you could watch people like kind of grow and either make it or fail and scrub out. But
going through the same problems at the same time.
Yeah, now it's a little bit different. Like I don't really keep up with. There's a few Prime people that I know that still make content, and I'll watch that occasionally and stuff. But other than that, I just keep up with the homies that have moved on from Prime that we know.
Mm-hmm.
There are people in the world that don't know what Discord is. You are very correct.
You're absolutely right.
It's like a social media platform. It's like a messaging app, forum type.
Like a message board.
Yeah, it's a message board. Yeah.
Or for the older people, it's like an AOL chat room.
Oh my god!
See, look at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 money signs.
Good load.
In here, I love the money
good load.
See,
you need 4 more at the end. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, see, my man did everything. Jokes. He was in the Navy. He was a lawyer, and now he's a truck driver.
Yeah, that's Tim Travels. Yeah, he's very well versed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
it's very loaded.
All right, so let's talk about the 65%. So yeah, you compare it to what does Prime make? 72, right?
72.
So you're getting 72% of the line haul that they tell you that it was booked for, where the 65% that we're getting of this load, the rates are significantly higher than what you're getting at Prime or even currently spot market. So yeah, 65% seems like a lot, but the money that you're getting the 65% of is a lot more.
Yeah, we have had this conversation. We just had it the other day on the drive home, where we're like, if you're getting 65% of 100%, that's more than when you get 72% of
75.
70%. Yeah, like it's like a smaller number of a bigger pie is still more than a larger number of a smaller pie. Like
the sitting duck thing, that's something between you and your the way that you run the truck. We don't park on off ramps.
I've never.
We have always had our own sitting duck policy.
Yeah.
Always.
I care about my truck too much to like put ourselves in a position where it's going to get damaged or hit or somebody's going to run into the back of the trailer. So the sitting duck was never an issue with us. It does kind of suck sometimes when you're like really scrounging for a spot, but I mean, there's so many options. You can park in the middle of a truck stop, and that's not being a sitting duck. But
Right.
you just can't park on and off ramps. I mean, it's not that.
And listen,
It's not that huge of a
So-
sacrifice.
when you're dispatching yourself and you're in control of your own loads, you have way more control of when you're stopping. Also, when you're not running refrigerated freight and going to 24-hour places that your appointment is ending at 2 a.m. and you're trying to find a spot, it's so much easier to find a spot at a truck stop when 99% of the places that you're going are 9 to 5 and you're able to get into a truck stop. So it's a totally different world. Like refrigerated freight, Prime world, like we're just talking about the reefer freight at Prime. That world is a totally different world from the dry van Landstar world. So the sitting duck policy, way less of an issue than you think it is.
Yeah, you don't find a reason to be a sitting duck. Like literally, the people who get in trouble for sitting duck is because they literally chose to be a sitting duck.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And they just do it and haven't been caught before.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All it
It's
takes
habit.
is it's your
All it
own
takes is
people
one
that are gonna
call.
turn you
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, the only
Nobody
people
cares.
who turn in BCOs are other BCOs.
Yeah. But so our first year at Prime, we stayed out over the Christmas break because we wanted that bonus. And I was shocked
It was nice.
at how many people still parked on the on and off ramps of rest areas when the rest area literally had 1 or 2 trucks in it.
Yep.
So there are people who just choose to stack up wherever or park wherever they want to, regardless of if there's actual spots. So when it's just not, don't let it be okay. This is what I also say for people who want porta potties on the truck. If you don't let it be an option, it won't be an issue. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There are people who are like, what if I need to go? No, don't if you force yourself to say, I am going to find a bathroom somewhere. If you force yourself to say, I am going to find a spot somewhere, you will make it happen.
I always found that to be the weirdest argument for people.
Don't you-
Like, what if I have to go?
Rent
Right.
the
Go.
flatbeds with Landstar? I thought there was some sort of trailer rental, and then you get a higher percentage.
So the flatbed, normal flatbed is no, not a rent. But if you do step deck, there's a rent.
Oh,
That
okay,
makes sense.
but all the flatbed trailer types are
I thought you were flicking me off. Oh my god.
No, just my
are all of them
Origami.
73%?
If you rent them or you have your own, I believe it's 73. But if you're using a company flatbed, I think it's 65, like a normal flatbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, like Ben said, you get 100% of the fuel surcharge and the tolls. So the first 6 months that we were at Landstar, we did a direct comparison of 6 months worth of Prime numbers and just the percentage of the load that you got fuel surcharge. And it was almost like a 200% increase in fuel surcharge. Like you actually get the fuel surcharge.
It was insane.
And then
Yeah.
obviously the line haul was significantly higher as well. So like, the 65 versus 72% seems like a lot when you're just like looking at it in a vacuum, but you'll make a lot more.
Pretty much impossible to do that comparison now because everything has changed so much. I mean, I know people say like, oh, the Prime freight stays pretty much the same, but like I just don't feel comfortable anymore comparing this year's numbers to like Prime in 2020 when reefer freight was like super in demand. I mean, it just doesn't. Whatever. We're past it now.
Yeah. All right. We won't get into the rant of everyone saying, but we have dedicated freight or we have contract customers. We're not going to bring it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just know that we talk about it all the time.
I'm tired of Reefer. 8 hours getting unloaded and then 10 hours getting loaded. Absolutely. Yeah. So what we have found is there's hardly any wait time with the drive-in stuff that we book. It's basically, I would say 7 o'clock till like 4 or 5 p.m. at the latest. So it's like banker's hours basically.
Yeah.
And the customers are generally happy to see you. It's not like get in line and give us your cell phone number.
It's a different world. Different world.
I really enjoy drive-in.
Yeah.
Like I think the hardest part about switching from Reefer to
said
drive-in in the beginning was
180 to
the
rent.
ability to sleep.
Yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
could not sleep without that Reefer, and then like that second week rolled around, I'm like, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, I always heard that before we came over to Landstar, like, oh, XYZ is a totally different world. I'm like, what do you mean? Because Reefer was obviously all we knew. So it's like, what do you mean it's a totally different world? Like, how different can it be? And then we got over here, I was like, oh, like, get it now.
But you also have people at mega carriers that are running drive-in, but they're going to all the places that we don't go to, like big box retailers, anything grocery related. They're going to monopolize your time just the same as a Reefer company would. But we don't go there because we have the choice not to. So yeah, it is 180 a week to rent the flatbed or whatever variation
that's
of.
not bad, right?
That's not bad at all, really.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
In the scope of things, it's
Right.
not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
To get that extra percentage for 180 bucks, easy.
To put that percentage into comparison, like with my trailer, like because when you get your own trailer, you have a separate revenue section. Like I normally get like an additional $300 to $400 a week with just the 7%.
Right.
So if the rent is 180 bucks, I get 300 just for having my own trailer.
Slapacana.
Yeah, I was reading that. Slapacana.
So we used to call that the poverty juice.
Man, shoot.
Because those rates were so trash.
Every time.
I hated those. Yeah, Landstar definitely does oversized loads, but you have to have experience, I believe.
Yeah.
You have to go in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Drew, I recognize your name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for oversized, you can do like step deck or oversized level 1, but you have to do that for, is it 6 months or a year? Then you have to go take a class to get upgraded to the next like step deck level 2. Then you can, the dimensions get a little wider or a little longer as you go up the categories. But you have to be in the category for either 6 months or 12 months.
Sounds legit. Sounds good to me.
Is the sitting duck policy only if someone calls Landstar? I mean, is speeding a crime if you don't get caught? I mean, that's kind of how you.
Yes, Matt, it is.
Okay, then sitting duck is still a thing, even if somebody doesn't call you.
So I feel like that Landstar doesn't. So okay.
Oh man, Drew's answering all these. He's on it. Either that or we're slow.
I feel like we're slow. I feel like that question is somebody coming from like, say, like a prime carrier where they are able to see where you are at all times.
Yeah, that's true. Like
Landstar's not like monitoring where you are at all times.
Yeah, so if you get caught on it, like Drew said, either a cop gives you a ticket or somebody calls you in. That's the only way. Or if like a car hits your trailer or something,
which has happened,
right?
Well, that's the whole reason the sitting duck policy became is somebody parked on the entrance to a rest area, I believe, and a drunk driver or sleepy driver or something ran into the back of the trailer and killed themselves, and their family sued Landstar. So they made just a blanket policy of no sitting duck.
And I think it's a good policy.
I honestly think it's a fantastic policy, especially because we're a hazmat carrier.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this has always been our policy. I have zero issues with the sitting duck policy.
Yeah, so the 72%, if you have your own trailer, you definitely get 72%. If you pull power only, you get 70%. And there's some other different variations that you get some more percentage here. But yeah, I mean, it's just a standard percentage.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Can you make good money by load board only, or do you have to have good agent connections? So everyone, I've read the same stuff. I've heard all the stuff that you have to have good connections and all that stuff. But I mean, we just kind of got out there and started running, and we communicate with the agents and they appreciate that. We'll download whatever tracking app if they request it. We send them the bills after we.
Why are you shaking your head?
I literally will not take a load if they ask me to download another app.
Oh,
yeah, it doesn't matter to us, but
to me, and literally the only reason why is it's in our contract with Landstar that all agents that offer a load on our board has to track us using Landstar's app.
Yeah, but Landstar's app sucks really bad.
Yeah, really bad.
That's fine. I don't care. Like I'm not downloading more apps on my phone.
I don't
And-
care about it, but
Yeah.
And the only reason why is
Oh.
like one of the apps I actually read through the contract, and it's like as soon as you install that app, it takes what it needs. But even if you take it off, that app will forever be in your settings and like always track you. I was like, I'm not putting nothing like that on my phone, and I didn't. Like, and that's how from that moment forward, I don't do third-party tracking apps.
yeah, so basically, like, we don't have agents that are feeding us these loads that never hit the board. We have an agent that pulls out of our home state. So when we're home, we're like, hey, do you have any loads? And then they send us some over if they have them. And we have a few people that recognize us when we call in and stuff, but we don't have any special connections. And I mean, we're doing great with just load board stuff.
I feel like a lot of the stuff when we first came over, it was like you have to work really hard on your agent connections. You have to be cold calling people.
You got to send them gifts.
Listen. You don't have to do all that. You just have to be
Nope.
good at your job.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
be
it.
good at your job. That's it. They will call you back. They will recognize you. They will
Mhm.
remember you. Just be good at your job. Be friendly. Communicate. Just do what they ask, and they will
Mhm.
call you back.
Yeah, man. You get that express lane. You get to skip the 20 trucks waiting to not show up before an hour early, but not be late.
Yeah, I
hate
guess we
that.
don't do enough driving Walmart to
An
know about all
hour and 2 minutes late, and you're on for the next day.
Teams are so delusional. Solo with hard 11 can be diff. I don't know.
Hard 11, like the hours.
What?
I
I don't know.
don't get it.
If you want to clarify that, we can comment on it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
On to the next
Yeah, help
one.
me out with that one.
There's no one else to blame. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, are you? Oh, he must be talking about the sitting duck stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of solo guys that don't get fired from Landstar. I mean, it's not
Right.
that.
I mean, Ross, what you just said. Well, I guess you don't do so much like just general.
I
freight
only work with one agent.
I know
So-
so many people at Landstar that have said the same thing, where it's like they already had their own policy. Like, I'm telling you, I have seen so many people that there will be spots at the truck stop, at the rest area, and they don't even bother. They don't care. So
Yeah, I ran into that several times because a lot of the stuff that I take sometimes is overnight. So like I have to find parking, which I like driving nights anyway, but I have to find parking like 1 and 4 a.m.
yeah.
And the truck stops are full. So you're going off the exit ramp and there's trucks lined up on both sides of the shoulders. Then you pull in to the parking lot and there's like 7 spots.
So my theory on that used to be, when we were still dealing with all that, would be anytime from like 9 p.m. to midnight, truck stops would be full.
Mm-hmm.
But after 1 or 2 a.m., there would be a spot or two in the truck stop that people
Mhm.
wouldn't even know about or care to go look for. So I always felt like if I was stopping and looking for a spot after, especially 2 a.m., I was golden. I could always find a spot.
Right. And like
Yeah,
even for me, I only drive nights, so like usually I'm that person leaving that spot at 9 or 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. at night.
Right. I
Yeah,
love
like-
looking for a spot at like 3 or 4 in the morning because I can
Yeah.
always find one.
Yep.
Like
When I got
Ben
shut down at
said.
7 a.m., perfect, wide
I
open.
mean,
Yeah.
you're the one booking the stuff as well. So, I mean, you kind of know when you're going to be stopping.
Yeah, I just feel like our world is completely different now. Like we just don't run into those issues anymore. And if you do, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, if you do, it's because of
Right.
you. It's your fault.
You need to look at yourself. Like,
Yeah.
look at your own planning. Look in the mirror.
Yeah. So, I mean, we run probably, I wouldn't say half as many miles, but we run significantly less miles. It's way less stressful, and we make a lot more money than we did at Prime. But even if we made the exact same money, but we were free to do whatever we wanted, we would do it.
It's Travis, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just texted me back too.
I just woke up.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What?
He texted me
Oh,
the same
no.
thing.
Does he want to jump on?
What
Yeah,
day
I
is
texted
it?
him. I was like, "You still on?" That's funny.
What year is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
sometimes
I get that way a lot.
18-hour day.
Can't do it,
Texas
Chief.
intrastate. I don't know, man.
Yeah, if you're only driving within like 100-mile radius, you under different rules.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't want to work an 18-hour day.
Oh God, no. I've certainly done it, like with what I do, but it's a lot different because I know I'm gonna sleep for the next 7 days.
Stay safe, man. Hopefully that shower is not if you're at that pilot, oof.
Yeah, like I probably would have went and took that shower with the sun still up.
Yikes. Be careful. Use a pellet grill. No, we use a Weber kettle smoker. It's a charcoal at the bottom, and then it has like a kind of a barrel, and then the meat sits on the top. So it has a water tray in the middle. Just a basic smoker. What's up?
I just had one thought because you know how I say like when we were at Prime,
Just
I
one.
always had this dream of like, imagine how many more miles I could do in a day if I wasn't governed at 65. So then we get over to Landstar. I'm like, ooh, what's my like, super high number going to be that I can do in a day? And then we get over to Landstar and we're running like max
68.
Right, well, that
Less.
so some of those super heavy loads, I have found that if you go a lot less than 68, you get really good fuel economy. So,
Mhm.
but anyway, just like the stress level is so much lower, but also the max that I need to run in a day is so much lower than it was at Prime. And I was
Oh,
over at Prime like, oh man, I'm going to be able to run 700 and something miles. Like, this is going to be great. It's not, it's a different world. It's just a totally, totally different world.
You know what? I agree with you because like when I was governed at 60, 65, it was like, oh, this is awful,
Yeah.
And then I ungoverned myself, and then I was doing 700 miles a day, like when I first started at Landstar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the heck am I working so hard?
Yeah.
And so I stopped doing that. I go 68 now.
Yeah.
And I save on fuel.
Yeah, well,
I don't really need the time.
we
I
drop
book
it
myself
down.
way out.
Yeah, when it's not a time constraint, we drop the speed down.
Time constraint's the big thing. You want to know
Yeah.
what I've been going lately when we're not time constrained?
Like
And it's
57.
no.
Worse? Oh God.
No. Oh God. No.
Like,
No.
please.
No. No. I'll go 63.
63.
When we're super heavy, when we're like max weighted and it's like we have ridiculous amount of extra time, I'll go 63. I am that person.
I've
But
been doing 68, and I want to go slower, but just for the sake, I will never set my cruise at 65. I'll either do 66 or 64. I just can't do 65.
I know it's a whole thing, and it took me a long time to get here. But
Man, I don't even care with the fuel prices the way they are.
yeah,
I know.
So pellet grills are nice and all, but when I cut into this brisket and you see the smoke ring, let's compare.
Right. Yeah, like, okay, so I feel like it just keeps coming back to freedom, right? Because I love to have the freedom to go, let's say, as fast as I want, which we all know that I'm not going to go as fast as I want to go.
Absolutely not.
As fast as is safe to go. I love having that freedom, especially if I need to pass somebody, if there's any sort of like getting it around any sort of situation, just stuff that happens on the road. I love having that room there in the pedal, but choosing to go 65, 64, 63, 66, whatever, has been so like, it's such a breath of fresh air because there were so many times when I was pinned at 65, pushing that pedal through the floorboard where I was like, I just want 1 more mile an hour.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, because I say it over and over and over in the videos too. When you're speed governed at whatever, that is the one speed that you will do everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not safe.
Ben commented on that.
You just said the same thing. Yep.
I agree.
And I agree.
Yeah. Because I did, because like you have to like almost draft on the truck ahead of you and then swing out so that you're not holding up traffic in the left lane and stuff like that. So you just do a bunch of stuff that's not safe. And then the people that pass me in like construction zones that are like 35, 45, and they're doing like 65 are all companies that are speed governed at 65.
Mm-hmm.
I was right there.
So like one of my videos, a Prime truck was passing me and there was like ice in the left lane. He was cruising 65,
Yeah.
pedal to the floor.
Yeah.
Probably had to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's out there, but I mean, we're home like
It's not.
a few
I mean-
days every 2 months. What do I need with that expensive
We know people-
Traeger?
Yeah, we know people that have them, and yeah, they have a smoke ring, but it's just not.
You got to do a lot more work for the.
And it's just like not that
The
impressive
smoke
of a
ring.
smoke ring.
Dang, I wasn't going
Jeez.
there. No, I mean, I would like to mess with the Traeger, but just the cost per value to us right now until we start taking more home time.
But also the things that we've talked about with the Traeger are the ability to not have to babysit it all day long. Sounds really appealing. But when we're home and we don't have anything else to do and we can just sip on whatever drink we're sipping on all day, like it's kind of fun to be able to have to do that extra work. But I totally get where people are coming from with the Traegers. They do sound awesome. Like I always wanted one. And now I feel like I'm happy with what we have and maybe looking at like an offset smoker later on. But I totally get it. Like I do.
I'd like it for just the ease, so you don't have to
Yeah.
like babysit the charcoal all the time.
Yeah. And I would like
Yeah,
to
somebody
get,
said you looked lost when we talked about
Because
barbecue.
I absolutely am. I don't know what you guys are talking
Hey
about.
man, we'll equate it to like you talking about planes. I don't know anything about them. I just smile and be like, "Yeah."
Oh my gosh. Look, that was a 6-second segment of airplanes.
well, we can start talking
Well,
about
I'm
other
just
stuff. We
saying.
don't have to-
No, it's fine.
I don't-
It doesn't bother me.
I'm not gonna like not listen to what you're interested in because I don't know anything about it.
Oh no,
Barbecue's
I'm
a fairly
listening. I just
universal
don't
thing,
know.
right?
Yeah, it's like when you start like Traeger, I don't know what that is, but I'm listening.
So-
But I-
So
like,
obviously
when you
you
get
don't
the
listen to
specifics-
Joe Rogan.
Obviously, we're not a big Joe Rogan fan. Okay. It's a
Let's see
very,
if
very, well, it's not the most expensive smoker, but they are very expensive to us.
Mm.
They're so like a medium-sized one's in like the $1,200 range.
yeah, it drops like a little pellet for the
Yeah,
smoke in
so
there,
it's a
and like
pellet smoker.
you can regulate the temperature and stuff with the app.
there's-
It's pretty cool.
There's an app, like so it's a
That's
lot
cool.
more automatized. I don't know. That's
Automated?
Automated?
Automatized.
Yeah,
Automatized. I like automatized.
Right. I like automatized too.
running wide open is great until you have to pay for that fuel and you just watch it go away.
You know what? I agree.
even
Running
just
wide open
fun.
is nice, but I've noticed like when I was doing that and I ran like 10, 11 hours, the speed limit, you know what I mean? 70, 75 all day. I am exhausted at the end of the day.
Right.
Like it drains you a lot.
Well-
I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this no more.
I'm a firm believer that any speed over 70 in a like an 80,000 pound truck, you have to be exponentially more careful and more vigilant of
Yeah.
the traffic around you. So
Yeah.
it is very exhausting because like the other day when we were on that expedited run, that truck was in the wind.
Yeah.
We were passing everything. That bad boy was flying.
Yeah.
It does feel a lot more on
But-
edge though the whole time.
Mhm.
You
But
just
I
feel
was
a lot
also-
Yeah,
more-
I feel like I tense up the whole time.
yeah, you're a lot more on edge all day.
But it was also when it was overnight when I was driving and it was early morning, so there wasn't a ton of traffic. So,
Except for the 3 hours that I sat in.
yeah,
no traffic
no
for
traffic, though.
you.
the granny lane is bumpy as hell. Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
so if you
I'm
go
so
up in the
controversial.
mountain, if you go up in the mountain like Donner's Pass, being at Prime with the super singles, you don't get into that groove where all the duals have gone up the mountains
Yeah.
really heavy, and it makes this distinct groove of like the duals. So like you're sitting there like basically surfing on the asphalt back and forth. It is not a good feeling. I don't like it. That's like one of the other times that I really hated super singles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you guys this question, and I want to find out if I'm the only one that feels this way. But being at Prime, we were so used to being in the right lane. Now we are ungoverned and can go the speed limit, but I still hate being in that left lane, dude.
It feels dirty.
It
Feel-
does. I don't get how people, speeding or not, people just stay in the left lane all day. I'm like, how do you do that? It makes me
Yeah.
so uncomfortable.
The other night, the overnight run that we did reminded me how much I hate people who just camp in the left lane. I'm like, dude. So this guy swung out in front of me because he had something to go around. That's fine, whatever. But then when you're like a mile past cleared the guy that you were passing, what are you doing? You're governed
Right.
at 68. Why are you still in the left lane? The speed limit is 75. What are you doing? So then I go around you on the right, like.
Oh, I pass on the right every day, all day long.
All day long.
At this point, I'd rather prefer it. I'd rather prefer it. Like, just let me pass on the right. Stay exactly where you are. Because I hate the people. Oh, go ahead. No,
you go ahead.
I was like, I hate the people who are in the left lane, and then you go to pass them on the right, and they're like, oh.
Exactly.
No, just stay in the left lane now.
Yeah.
You chose this life.
I had a person that was coming up on in the right lane one time at Prime, and they suddenly got over in the left lane and like motioned for me to pass them. I was like, that's not how this works.
Right.
I go around you. You stay where you are. That happened a couple times where I was like yelling at people like, what are you doing? Stay where you are.
Right.
This is going to be a slow pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you that I don't know
Are you planning on getting all your type ratings? Plan on any commercial use or just private pilot? So for right now, the only type ratings I'm looking to get right now is just my PPL. I still am going to get my IFR type rating. I want to get my multi-engine type rating. My retractable gear endorsement, and I believe I want to get a parts. I think it's a part 91 or part 141, one of those. But I don't want to do commercial. I rather do private I rather do private piloting. But at the very most, I would do like corporate flying. I don't know if I want to do mega carriers like Delta and Southwest and stuff. I'd rather do like business jets.
This is sounding more similar to truck driving. But did you say retractable gear and
retractable landing gear?
I never even thought about the planes that it wasn't retractable. Like, if I'm honest, I never.
So they have fixed landing gear. They're more so on private planes, like the ones I'm learning to fly. They have fixed gear.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Or you needing an endorsement for not that.
Use it. Yeah.
You have your doubles.
Yep, doubles and triples.
But I absolutely could see it being the exact same thing where like maybe you need to go to the mega carrier to get the experience, but that's not where the money is.
Yeah, they actually pay the worst, actually.
So this guy says he's got a ton of load cancellations lately. So are you, like Ben asked, are you booking in advance or same day? Because I mean, we book in advance, and I think the whole time we've been at Landstar, maybe 2 loads.
One.
Like
maybe two. Yeah.
I've only had 1 load cancel on me the year I've been here.
Yeah, so I mean, I know it's out there. I hear about it, but
yeah, I can think of the one.
It just doesn't happen to us.
The one that I'm thinking of, I can't think of the second one, so I don't know. I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, so he's dealing with the same thing. So same thing to you. Are you booking out or are you booking day of, like the?
Yeah, but I think that there's more questions that could be asked here as to what you're booking, like what types of
and where you are.
And where you are. Like, I feel like there's more questions that could be asked there of those loads that are canceling. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but whatever it is, it's not something that we're dealing with.
Yeah, even before I got, before I'm doing what I'm doing now, when I was doing load board, like it rarely canceled.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder what. I don't know, because I do hear a lot of people complaining about all the loads that are canceling and stuff, but we don't have experience of it, and it's not like I'm not saying that I don't believe that it happens, because I know it happens, but I just don't know what we're doing differently that it doesn't. So.
I know what we're doing differently.
So,
have you heard of our Lord and Savior hazmat loads?
That's true. Yeah,
yes.
They usually don't cancel, but
man. I don't know about you guys. When I first came to Landstar, I'm like, man, I got to get this hazmat endorsement.
Right.
I'm never going to haul hazmat.
Yeah.
And then I hauled that first one, and I'm like, I'm doing nothing but hazmat.
We look for the loads in between the hazmat loads. But it's like our main loads are the hazmat loads. And then you're like, all right, we need a backhaul for our hazmat load.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm glad y'all are the exact same.
I need to make like a barbecue Discord now for everyone to post their setups and
like
stuff.
Another channel, or
I don't know.
Like another chat room?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go live with the other channel. We could talk about barbecue the whole time.
Have three people watching.
Yeah, right.
Hi guys.
All 3 people, we can just have like a phone conversation. The book out.
At least there are reasons.
So so the closed loads, I see a ton of them getting posted now, and it's just
a ton.
It's like bait. The rate's good. I don't want to do it because it goes to places we don't want to go.
Yeah.
And the second one being FedEx canceled. Yikes.
That's rare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Something happened.
Yeah, that's gonna be rare in general. Like I never hear of FedEx
Yikes.
canceling.
I've never heard of a FedEx cancel.
Yeah, all the closed loads. We were looking at those when we were trying to get out of Minnesota last week. And I was very tempted by a lot of the closed loads, but they all felt like I don't know what was off, but I didn't want to call on any of them because I was like, there's just something. It fell into that category of like if it's too good,
It's because it is.
It was because there's probably a catch somewhere. I didn't feel like finding out what the catch was.
Yeah, so me, VBX, and riding with Kev need to have like a barbecue chat.
Oh, not me. I want to learn.
We got to teach you, man.
Well, you were complaining.
You can
I
be
was
in-
not complaining. I just said I was lost. Somebody said I look lost. Oh, riding with Kev said I was lost. And
You can be in the comments. We'll be discussing the topics.
That'll work.
No, I'm not like an expert by any means, but I just see what a lot of people post with their Traegers, and I mean, I know it's user error for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do
So-
incredible things, but
Is it just the size of the smoke ring? Because I feel like it's the color as well.
I mean,
Like-
there's levels to it, but we don't need to get into it on the trucking live. We're gonna teach Ross how to barbecue.
This week on Barbecue and Grills. Like,
There it is.
It really doesn't take an expensive one though. I mean, I think ours was a
Yeah.
Christmas present, so maybe
We're doing a lot with just a basic one,
yeah,
but
it's an entry level smoker, but I'm
it
very
does
happy with
take
it.
a lot more effort because you can't just control it from the app.
Yeah.
Like you have to go out there and like mess with charcoal and stuff.
Yeah, but the results are really good, and there are a lot of things that you can smoke that are really, really, really delicious that aren't a brisket that take 10 hours. Like we did a chicken one time. It came out really, really, really good. He likes to do the fake bird ends. Yeah, we do a lot of any pork shoulders take way less time. Like there's a lot of stuff where it's like you can spend 6 hours, 4, 5, 6 hours on it and get some really amazing stuff.
So yeah, hazmat definitely has a ton of benefits, and yeah, sometimes you'll get the people that are mixing the resins and chemicals and stuff. Where sometimes you'll get some guy that backs into one of those IBC totes full force with the forklift.
oh,
Dude, that was the day that I realized that those bad boys are very durable. Because I
those totes? Yeah.
used to worry about like strapping the strap down too tight and stuff like that, or like having to jump over them to like strap
Those
down.
things are solid.
Dude, that thing
Full
took
force.
that hit from that forklift at full speed like it was nothing. That bad boy was dented in, but it like popped itself right back out.
Oh man.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know if you can convince me on the closed loads. I'm gonna have to pass on that until I see otherwise.
I like the closed load, or I
I
like
like
the
it to
closed
hear.
loads.
I like
It
the
was
idea
good.
of them, but
That's good to hear because I didn't really know much about them when I was seeing all of them pop up on the load board out of Minnesota or also Wisconsin. But so, I mean, that's good to know that there are some good closed loads because definitely, unless that lady had called me with that load that we got taking us home, I would have called on one of them because that was pretty much all that was coming out of that area. That
Yeah, I
paid
usually
what we
run a
wanted.
lot. I run a lot of them out of Savannah. Savannah, Georgia
Yeah.
has a lot of clothes.
so this is why
Yeah.
FedEx and LTO cancel is if the truck didn't make it, or if they're laying in a ditch.
Yes.
I was gonna say I see an awful lot of
Yeah.
FedEx trucks.
God, yes.
Especially with the
The ditch.
doubles, man, in bad weather.
I always wonder what happens to those loads.
Guaranteed they're in
Yeah.
a ditch.
They get canceled.
When you see that weird shipping where it's like, we can't find your package right now, try
Yeah.
again later, it's probably laying in a ditch.
Now that we're in trucking, I know exactly where that package is.
Yeah.
It's sitting in the median.
I think it's funny when friends of mine
Do you
post
know-
on Facebook about things with FedEx. I'm like, I know where your package is.
Mhm.
Do you know anything about covered or straight flatbed? Because I don't.
Well, covered wagon would be dry man and straight flatbed. All right,
Covered
no,
wagon
you
would
like
be
Conestoga?
Conestoga.
No, not really. It depends on what you're hauling. If you're just doing general freight, just do a flatbed. If you want a Conestoga, it's because you're running specialized flatbed freight. Is
Is
the
that
reason
what it
people
is?
have Conestogas. Yeah. Most times, it's something. It's something
was-
good in there.
Remember that prime load that we did? It was like Gatorade or something. It was some sort of drink out of like California or something, and there was the Conestoga.
It was Arizona tea. and
Arizona
they made us
tea.
run the reefer, but this dude just rolled up in a flatbed and threw it on.
Oh man, that was such
Oh,
But Prime wouldn't let us roll without the person
yeah.
giving us a temp to run it at. So we had to run it at like 55 degrees or something. The guy was like, dude,
what?
run it dry.
Just write something on
the guy
page.
was like,
Yeah.
hey man, I literally just loaded that flatbed next to you. I don't care
Yeah.
if you turn the reefer on or not.
I'm like, can you just write the words dry right here, please?
Right.
Exactly. Well, this is a reefer company, so they want a temperature on
Prime
the
was
bills.
like, run it at 57 just in case. Like, in case.
Just in case of what?
It was good. Good times.
Not hating on Prime, just sharing experiences.
My God.
Dang. Is that the Landstar load board or like the spot market load board?
Calling ABF doubles.
Yeah, that could still be on either.
That could definitely be on Landstar.
Well, yeah. Sure. Marvin.
Got
I mean, it might be
Ooh,
Landstar.
I remember that lingo.
Yeah.
190. You'll forget that soon enough.
The consignee.
Okay, he is that Landstar.
Landstar, yeah.
Okay. Did you have to get certified or did you start doing it before they
He's probably grandfathered in.
yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, they didn't always have that doubles road
No.
test until
That was like-
recently.
Yeah, that was like 3 or 4 months ago, something like that.
Mhm.
Very happy to hear about that, though.
The road test, yeah.
I feel like that covers my, like, what do I do if I've never actually hauled doubles, but now I have my doubles. endorsement?
See, there you go. There's more plane chat. See, that's
Yeah.
what you need to start the
See,
plane
it's
chat.
dual.
And I will be in the comments, and then I'll start the barbecue chat, and you be in the comments.
Yeah. I'm actually, so the PA-28, the Piper Cherokee, I'm actually learning to fly on a Piper Warrior, which is the same PA-28. I just don't remember the rest of the call sign. But I know my tail number.
Hat chat.
Remember Hat Chat?
Yeah.
I remember Hat Chat.
I remember Hat Chat.
Whatever
Plane Chat
happened to
reminds
that
me of Hat Chat.
Whatever happened to that dude?
Taylor, I don't know.
Does he still make videos on YouTube's?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Dang.
Hat
It-
Chat got
He
rid
had
of
hats for everything.
It's like that, right?
I'm gonna have to call that dude. I'm gonna send him
Yeah.
a text tomorrow.
Send him a text
Oh,
right
Hat
now.
Chat.
Tell him to get on this live. Tell him to
Yeah, we need a hat chat.
Let's go. Watch him be driving or something.
Yeah.
it.
Here's my driving hat for the day. Say
Not
Sunday.
even at Prime anymore.
Oh yeah.
He's not
Ooh,
at Prime.
He's
Really?
not.
He
Yeah.
is running FedEx. I think it was. He's at
There's
FedEx.
There's always a pretty good chance that when you say somebody's not at Prime anymore, that's going to be true. Again, not hating on Prime. Just sharing
This Prime isn't for
experiences.
everyone.
So
observations.
what we're talking about is with Landstar right now, in order to pull doubles or triples, you have to either have a lot of previous experience or you have to get certified by Landstar to pull doubles. So you have to take it. Wow, it's getting super bright in here. All right. Yeah, you have to
Gotta
go.
stop moving the head.
You have to go to one of
Just
the
trying to expose
two terminals that have a set of doubles, and you do a road test with a guy that has never done the job and probably couldn't do the job. he sits in your passenger seat and then certifies you to do the job that you already know how to do.
Yeah, you basically it's a competency test. Like if
Yeah.
you don't hit anything, they're gonna endorse you. You know, that's all the road test is. Like, can you pull doubles and dribbles? That's really all it is.
Yeah, it just I don't like the idea of somebody that couldn't do the job telling you if you did the job well enough or not.
I mean, I don't know anything about it. So.
Yeah. This is a long live. So if we have any other questions, drop them down. We're going to probably start wrapping it up soon.
I would recommend Prime.
Yeah, I mean we all went through the Prime, so that's all we know.
That's all. Yeah, I'm like every time someone asks me that question, like, "What's a great company started at?" I started at Prime. These people started at Prime. This guy started at Prime. This other guy started at Prime. Like, go to Prime.
Somebody thinks
is that all it is? Verbally walk around in 10-mile ride. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Verbally walk around. Well, that's a tire. That's an axle.
This is the doubles.
Yeah, this is the end of the first trailer and the start. Of the
I would
second
imagine
one.
that you have to hook them up.
Is it
show
pencil
them-
hook somewhere in this?
I think you have to. Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe I don't know. Because I know at FedEx, like there's some of the drivers do it at certain locations, but a lot of FedEx places they have someone on the ground that hooks them up.
Yeah.
Like so when you come to pick them up, they're already hooked up. You just
most of the LTL companies are going to have them hooked up. I think R&L, they picked up the lead one and then they would go and pick up the
pub,
the rear one in at the door on some of them. But
I have seen that.
But they were pulling them out too and hooking them up and leaving them on that second aisle. But
it's just not an industry I want to be in. I don't want to pull doubles.
We don't have any business doing it because we've never done it, and I really I'm the thought of just like learning as I go doesn't really appeal to me. But,
yeah.
Okay. In Carnesville, they're already hooked up.
Yeah, I think in Fort Worth they're hooked up too. But I know I've seen them unhook it and then hook it back up and then go on the road. So.
Yeah, we just don't have any business doing it because
there's no reason to.
What's the link for the Discord? Sozo, if you could be a pal and drop
already on there.
Already done. I feel like yeah.
Oh wow.
Sozo.
Wow.
As soon as we get off this video, we're gonna have a long talk.
Right now, Ross.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now.
All I'm saying is money well spent on that. My man
I'm telling you.
Made an entire website. I gave him zero direction. It's like, I don't know, man. We drive trucks. Here's some pictures. And he made a whole entire site. I was good with like the template that you buy for like $20 and you have a store. I was good with that.
And he wanted it to look more handmade, professional than go on a template website and drag and drop your pictures.
He also
he did a fantastic job.
He did the logo, made every single format that every shirt printer or sticker printer would ever want.
Can we drop the link for the website? Is that a thing that we can do?
We could do whatever we want.
Sozo
is the best.
Man, I gotta get me a Sozo.
Sozo's your Sozo.
You can.
I would say Sozo is my Sozo. I suppose
you can pay our Sozo.
Here we are volunteering.
It's our Sozo, yeah.
Be somebody else's Sozo, but is that a link? Doesn't look like a hyperlink to me.
Clickable link.
It's no clickable. Not a clickable.
That's why we have a webmaster. I don't know.
Right, Sozo do the thing.
I don't know how to make it a web link.
I actually have no idea why that's not a hyperlink.
I don't know.
There's no HTTP before it. I don't know.
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So I'm saying Sozo.
Help.
Yeah. Oh, I did make it a hyperlink. I'll be.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, it did. Yeah. See? I knew it. Thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Got to actually like copy and paste the thing. not just type it out.
Speed
Look at
limit on
that.
10 is 85. Trucks be flying. Hey, look, man. If you're in the left lane,
Shoot.
be prepared to do felony speeds.
I want to see a picture.
What's
of
your channel,
this
pilot?
85-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. That's all.
I have absolutely gone 85 out there.
Right, but I want to see the speed limit sign.
I saw it the other day.
Did you really?
That hyperlink was a complete guess, and I was right. So yes, that is my link to my channel.
It should be.
It is. I just tested it because I don't remember if I changed it from the other. I had a different one, and then I changed it. So yes, I do have a YouTube channel. I
No,
do
he doesn't
not.
post on it.
Let me dig on myself. I got this.
Look, this
But,
2.5 hours that you see him on YouTube is probably more than the last 6 months that you saw him on his YouTube.
Okay, that's probably
Yeah,
true.
no, it's true.
But I have a video that I just have to edit. It's sitting on this camera. But I now that I'm not on my contract, I can make content again. So
There you go.
I dropped my channel name in the chat box here. So Johnson's Logic. I have been on YouTube like 2.5 years. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, drop over there and give him a follow. He does cool stuff too. He's at Landstar.
Mhm. Now
He
with
was-
this next load coming up, I should be able to record a little bit, but I don't know until I get there. So
Yeah, but after that, you're going back to the general freight.
no, I'm coming back home. I'm not even supposed to be going out this week, but I'm recovering a load for one of my agents. So
Pilot training vlogs would be cool. Yeah, it would.
I really considered that.
Bro, if you
And-
don't slap that GoPro to your forehead and go flying,
Because
what are you even
with
doing?
flying right now, especially with VFR flight rules, like I know there's some people that do it, but they have like their own planes to put their stuff in. Like I would have to invest like a lot to get like the proper mounts and stuff like that. And I thought about doing it, but I really want to just focus on getting the license because of the time frame I'm trying to do it in.
Yeah.
But like once I get my license, then yes, I will have pilot videos.
Once you buy your own plane,
J Love, what's good, man? What's
Getting there.
good?
since I know that's
We're
how it
a-
works.
We're about
Absolutely.
to wrap this up. We've been at it for a while.
Mhm.
Still need to get you on a live too.
2.5 hours. This is the longest live I've ever been a part of.
My
Really? Oh, you
My lives are an hour.
right. You do an hour cutoff.
dude, we just keep talking until we get tired and then we
Yeah.
log off.
No, this was nice though. I'm not gonna I don't mind going longer. I just haven't. Ever.
Dude, I appreciate you and Travis when you're like, all right, it hit an hour, peace out, I'm out.
Yeah, we got.
We're at like 2.5 hours. And I'm like, yeah, let's wrap it up. And then another hour rolls by.
Listen, an hour is just getting started around here. Like,
Yeah,
True.
that's the warm up. I'm like, nah,
right.
we're done.
I appreciate y'all for having a hard cutoff, but an hour is just getting started.
Yes, J-Love, my email for the channel is, I think, in the about section on my YouTube. If you want to shoot me an email, I'll work with you on getting either joining your live or you joining my live. Get some sort of collaboration going. We got people joining the Discord.
I was like, I hear it on your end. I think.
Nice. It's the booze. Hey, it might be. But that booze produced a hell of a beef brisket.
It's
We don't
the
drink
booze.
more on the road. I'd like to say that. Just saying.
Yeah.
Not
Not
that
at
it's
all.
really anybody's business, but we don't drink at all when we're on the road. And
Hardly drink at home. Either.
right. I was gonna say we hardly drink when we're at home, but something about this home time and being home like 4 days early. Like
I could use a drink.
Well, it's
we-
after that last run, man.
Yeah.
We definitely needed a
we're
drink.
gonna do some smoking and we're gonna do some drinking and it's gonna be a good
Smoking
time.
barbecue,
Yes.
not
Yeah.
smoking other stuff.
Jeez, I was doing
Drug test
We
coming
already
soon.
Right.
I don't care. Go ahead, drug test me. I don't care.
Mhm.
Landstar calls us in for drug test.
They did on not last home time, but they did on a previous home time.
That
They called
is
me in for
true.
a drug test. I don't care.
Landstar did.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fine. I don't care. I have nothing to hide.
Start
I
trucking.
sure don't.
Do you have a
Hey.
place going?
feel like this has been a very long journey with Peyton.
I feel like you're right.
We've been on this
I
journey for a
feel
while.
like you're right.
This is an episode. This is a new episode. We need more. We need
We
closure,
need more
man.
details. Yeah.
You need to get on a. You need to get on a company. We got to see how you're doing. Got to give us updates. Start a YouTube channel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Peyton,
he
like-
has one.
I was about to say, I remember you commenting on my videos a long time ago saying that you're interested in trucking.
Yeah.
I'm
Why
super
not?
excited for you.
I can't click on the thing.
There you go.
Whatever.
Gonna get the
5
smoking.
months. I'm just trying to take 2 months off and I can't even do it.
And I'm just trying to take like a week off. I just want the GTO to run. Actually,
Yeah.
Is it still not running?
man.
Oh, it runs.
It ran. The
Okay.
clutch just didn't do the clutch thing.
It runs.
We had to take the transmission down again.
But do it drive though.
But do it drive? Ah.
It would. The clutch didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
We really got to get back over there and put that puppy back. Actually, I guess it's already back up, isn't it? Is it? No? Okay, I don't remember.
No.
It's been in and out so many times now, I don't remember.
We
So,
left
yeah, we gotta.
that transmission on the ground.
We did something. Well, measuring.
We did a ton of measuring for the company,
We did the measuring.
the clutch company. So
And then
they
we
think
were
it
like,
should be good to go, or we're gonna have to take the clutch back off and send it in for them to inspect it. But
it should be
realistically,
good.
I think one of the splines for the clutch wasn't machined correctly, and it got hung up on the input shaft. So I think this time around it will work. I think.
Yeah.
I hope.
You be driving though.
Yeah. I mean, it runs.
Yeah, it runs great.
Mm.
Sounds great.
Did you guys want to talk about your wheels?
Or what?
Your wheels that you found?
Oh, no, they're already sold.
Oh, they are good.
Yeah, that was for the drift car that we had that we sold.
2 years ago now.
Yeah, we sold like a year ago.
Sitting around the house. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I
well,
we
got
hid
these
them
sets
for
of wheels.
ourselves.
They were on the other side of the porch, like the screen-in porch on the other far side.
Mm.
And I don't know why I walked back there the other day, and I was like, "Those look like brand new tires and wheels. What are those?" And I pulled them out. I was like, "Oh, those."
So we never.
Oh, those.
They have
drove
0
anywhere.
miles on.
We never
I
even.
should- I'm about to say I should have paid more attention because I absolutely need new rims and tires on my car.
Well, what
You
gonna
saw
do with
the GTI?
Huh?
You saw the GTI?
I do. I just had a new engine block put in. I think there was a crack. Yeah, they said it was a crack in it or something, and I was like, okay, just fix it.
There's a crack in it or something.
You got
Yeah.
taken to the cleaners.
Yeah. But I didn't like. To me, it didn't cost that much, and I was just like, all right, we'll fix it.
I would absolutely
Whatever.
love to help you pick out some new wheels and tires.
Okay. Excuse me.
Warner or Pascal trucking line? PTL.
Hmm.
Whoa.
I mean, you could go to Prime
Start a YouTube channel.
for sure.
I'm just not going to shout you out until you've been there and you got job security, because I've seen everyone shout people out to get people to their channel, and then they just like fold up shop and disappear after you invested all that time and love into it.
Whatever happened with that?
With what?
With I can't remember his name.
What are you talking about,
Oh
Ross?
Lord.
Yeah.
What can of worms are you about to open?
Who what tea are we spilling?
It'll be off camera. Never mind.
I was kind of looking forward to some tea being
Hey
spilled.
man, we're an open book.
Yeah.
Throw 'em under the
We'll
bus,
talk
let's
about
do
it
it.
off
Do
camera
it.
because I don't want to be wrong.
All right.
No, you
All
know.
We'll
You
talk about it
know.
off camera.
All right. What do you want to
I wonder
talk
how
about?
Madman's
Field
doing.
careers or APUs or what do you want to talk?
What are you talking about?
Oh, me?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're the ones that are failing.
There is somebody that used to be a friend that thinks that we are failing because he reads the titles of our YouTube videos and doesn't watch them.
Who?
You know,
Okay.
maybe we're really not talking about the same person.
Maybe we'll talk about that off air. But
What is the initial?
no.
I think I do know, and I think we're talking about the same person.
Because there's only one person.
I think so, and I was
Yeah.
like, but okay,
Yeah.
all right, we'll talk about
So
it.
apparently we're about to close up shop because we're failing at Landstar. And AB5 is going to shut down all of Landstar.
Excuse me.
So, yeah.
Shut down all of Landstar.
No, the entire country is taken down because of AB5.
I don't know.
All right.
But I got a screenshot of
Oh, okay, I was right. Thank you, Peyton.
I got a
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. Thank
I
you.
got a screenshot of the dashboard that Landstar has now where it shows your settlement amount.
But like,
Yeah,
if somebody
I can't show
doesn't,
mine.
if somebody wants us to be failing, no amount of proof would change their mind. You know what I mean, Ross?
Mhm.
Like when somebody wants you to fail, like there's no
Then you're gonna
convincing
fail.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no convincing them. So it's whatever.
But also,
Whatever,
this
man.
person left on their own accord. Like I didn't kick them out.
Okay, we are talking about the same person.
I had
Yeah.
no beef with them.
Yeah.
But now we're like enemies,
No, we're not enemies.
bro.
Like
I don't know what.
what
I
is
don't know.
it? It's like a one-sided enemy situation. When somebody makes you their mortal enemy, but you're like, I just don't care. Like,
I don't know.
what is that called? I feel like there should be a word for that, but I can't think of it. Yeah, when you're
Thanks,
like,
Peyton. They weren't gonna tell me the initial, but I got it now.
I almost
appreciate it.
did, but
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
to, like be upset with me. But yeah, I was like,
Okay, no, we were talking about the same person.
Well,
I got
'cause it
it
was-
from the YouTube comment. I was like,
yeah, there was only one, so I knew you
Yeah.
had to be thinking about the same person. It's just, yeah.
man, that analytics page is fire. That new page for
It
Landstar,
is.
I'm telling you, it's so good.
It is. I like it, and it also gives you a little boost in your happiness when you see that nice number too.
Like, oh man, I'm on a good track. That's why I was looking at that one guy. He was saying you're making less than last year. I'm like, well, I started last year, but it's on
Really?
like
Sometimes
it's strange.
I feel like there's something that happens where like when you stop struggling for the loads or struggling for the money, you feel like you're not making as much.
Mm.
Do you ever get that where you're like, I don't feel like I'm making more than I used to, or I don't, it like, because it doesn't feel like you're working as hard as you used to because you're not.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but then you look at the numbers, you're like, wait, no. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you know
making-
what? I get that way a lot. Like, especially when I first started at Landstar, I'm like, man, I only did like such and such miles. Only had like
Right.
3 loads this week. Like, my check is gonna be so. Then you open your account, like, I'm about to go
Right.
home for 2 weeks.
Exactly
Like, no, I'm good.
I feel like we're not working enough, or
Yeah.
like my brain's like, you got to be working harder. You always got to, like this is too easy.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like the former Prime drivers coming to Landstar is honestly the best, only because you're used to seeing $1 a mile freight. So then now that the market's down and you see it's like,
can we pause and
15.
discuss how Ben is probably, I don't know, he found himself this combination of loads and has booked himself out as far as they will let him, and he's absolutely killing it.
How far do you book out?
Months.
Dude, the race that he's getting, I would book every single one that they offered as well.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I would say some weeks he's doing better than we do as a team.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
like super solo-ish, whatever you want to consider us. 1.5 driver. So probably if you're doing that consistently, he's probably making every bit as much as we do, or maybe even more if as long as that lane stays.
Yeah.
So
from my understanding though, he's a lot more willing to like kind of keep it on the ragged edge, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but
November.
LTL stuff is
Yeah.
rarely like late.
Yeah, that's very
Mhm.
true.
So as
But-
long as your truck doesn't break down or you don't
right.
hit the crazy 3-hour traffic that was stopped for 8 hours.
Yeah, I was
I
about to say he's got to be on dedicated. Book till November. I mean,
Right.
I'm on dedicated, but
we tend to give ourselves a lot more room.
He's not on a dedicated. He made his own dedicated. So
really,
like when people are like, "Oh, can I make whatever XYZ amount of
Yeah.
money?" I'm like, "Dude, there's a guy over here that is straight killing it."
yeah,
So when I say it's a choose your own adventure at Landstar, like you can either find these fire lanes or
freedom.
or you will
I saw it on your face.
or you'll struggle and then you'll
Crash and burn.
crash and burn and make I hate Landstar videos.
Which, oh man, I say this. I feel like I say this so many times. It's like, but I feel the same way about Prime. Like, if you hate Prime, is because you did something at Prime. Like, if you fail at Landstar, it's 100% your fault. Like, there is no reason. There shouldn't be any reason that you should fail out at Landstar because, like you know, like you said, and even like Liz says, like you have the freedom to do whatever you want. If you want to make 5 figures a week, you have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
You have to be perfect on everything, but it's possible.
Yeah. And
Or
I
if you want to
absolutely
sit at
wouldn't
home,
say
just sit
that
at home.
we failed at Prime either. Like
No, God,
our
no.
numbers, every all of our analytics, all of our people were like, we don't understand why you're not happy. We're like, because we're not in control of our situation.
Yeah.
Like, but you're making so much money. We're like, but it's not just about the money.
Right. And that's how I felt too.
I know you answered this earlier. He might not have been in then. Are you getting your pilot's license as a hobby or a business?
I'm currently getting it as a hobby. There could be a chance I can turn it into a business, but for now it's going to be a hobby.
Truck driver to pilot.
Wondering, should I come to the Star? I don't know, man. If you want to run your own business how you want to run it,
if you enjoy the freedom.
The freedom. If you want to live free.
I feel like about Landstar equaling freedom.
Look, you need to make a video.
We're going to get sued.
Yeah.
No, I like some merch for Landstar.
If for me, I would recommend people come to Landstar, but don't come to Landstar because we say to come to Landstar. Like, you need to be mentally prepared to come to Landstar. Like, Landstar is not a job you contract with. Like, Landstar is like a lifestyle that you need to learn how to live.
Plus, it's way different than a lot of the mega carriers where if you're like a lease operator, you know, you get that like freedom to run your business under their like tight constraints. Like, this is legitimately, you'll get a phone call from Landstar if you royally screw up, if you need to take a drug test, or occasionally they'll call you here and there. Other than that, they don't talk to you ever. Like, you run your stuff, they take their money, they pay you. That's it. You're dealing with the agents directly. You're dealing with the customers directly. You show up on time. You be professional. You get paid. Life's good.
Yeah. I think since I've been here since last June, like, Landstar Corporate has probably called me 3 times. And 2 of those times were because of referrals. So it's like, yeah, Landstar never calls me.
Yeah, interesting.
Like, if Landstar's calling you, just know you messed up something.
It's like going from the illusion of freedom to actual freedom.
Yeah. And this, you know, from like day one, like, oh, how long is orientation? You know, you're thinking of Prime, like, oh, orientation is like a week, and then you got training. Landstar, you got 2 days to get it right, and you're on the road.
It's like 1.5 days.
Yeah, it's 1.5 day. That second day is a half day.
Yeah.
Depending on how many questions the other people in your class have, but that's it.
You were the only people.
Yeah, so yeah, y'all lucked out. I had some people in my class, but that's it. You get 2 days of orientation, and then they're like, all right.
Do you know the answer to this question here?
God, yeah. Oh my God. My FBO that I'm training out of right now feels like it's like $10 a gallon right now. I can pull it up right now. But like the one south of me, the FBOs, you know, it's like $5 or $6 a gallon. So,
which feels reasonable compared to 10.
Yeah. So like right now, our FBO is $10 a gallon, $10.20 for 100, and then for jet fuel is $7.80. And it's like,
I
why
mean,
would
guys,
no one wants to get fuel there, like ever.
For
Like-
calling an agent,
no,
I see.
through email.
Right, but
Yeah,
for
yeah.
calling an agent, like telling an agent
Oops.
that word and calling an agent that word are two kind of different things.
Wait, what happened?
He got a service failure for some choice words on email with an agent.
I mean,
Oh,
no situation,
Oops.
but you gotta like, I don't know, I mean,
Yeah, like basically our main communication with Landstar is when one of the two of us get a random drug test.
what is it you always quote or talk about with the if you wouldn't want it read in court?
Oh yeah. So that's kind of how we run our business and run our personal lives. Is like when I'm sending an email or a phone call or text or any kind of professional communication, if you wouldn't want it read out in front of a court with your family there all reading along, like don't.
you
Don't
probably
do it.
shouldn't tell it to
Yeah.
somebody else.
I mean, I'm sure there was a good reason,
Right.
but
We've all had that reason.
yeah, you just
Man, you just gotta hold it in.
yeah, sometimes you just gotta
bro. If I had a dog
Man,
time an agency popped up and it had Landstar in the name,
I
Yeah.
immediately start
Never-
sweating.
I know.
Like, what did I do?
I'm like, I always answer defensively too.
Yeah.
One time they called and they were like, "Is Elizabeth there?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, can I talk to her? Like, maybe.
Yeah.
wasn't that
She's
the
like-
drug test day?
No, she's like, "Yeah, this is Sarah with payroll." I was like, "Oh, okay, go on."
Yeah. See, that's
Makes
how I
you
answer the
do
phone.
things
Every time I see
can-
Landstar, like I can't assume it's an agent. So like I answer and I'm like, hello. They're like, oh, it's such and such there. And I'm like, may I ask who's calling?
yeah.
Because that's gonna determine whether he's here or not.
Oh no, I'm the secretary. He's out.
Yeah. Oh, I've used that before too. I'm like, oh, he's actually out of the office today. It's like, oh, okay.
I do like, I don't know if you've ever had them call to like change any of the paperwork that you submit, if you've ever had any of those situations. I think we've had it twice where they wanted something submitted slightly differently, or there was one load that we did where the agency had you email them a copy of the bills before you were like, they had to say that everything was good on the bills, and then they released you to like start driving. And that was probably the biggest mess up on submitting the paperwork. I got a call from somebody at Landstar. She's like, I need you to fill out this other form because that wasn't a correct bill of lading that you submitted. She's like, it didn't have X, Y, or Z. I was like, what? But they even said that I was good to roll. Like, I don't understand. But I do like that anytime that we've had those kinds of situations, they always seem to like handle it very quickly. Or like one time we didn't get our full paycheck that we were supposed to get that week. Like I'd submitted everything fine. Everything was good. We just didn't get one load. And they immediately put it on our settlement card. We're like, we got you.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It happens.
I like his follow up comment.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that into it, but yeah.
It made me laugh.
Hey man, it's not
You
my
just
business.
you have some of those
Run
days,
it
man.
however you want.
You have some of those days.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it. I mean, some of
Yo,
these
this is-
agents like
It's
running a
going
load
on
board.
3 hours,
Oh,
bruh.
2 hours longer than normal.
Right.
And I was just getting started.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
bad boy up.
Kind of surprised my aunt's not back yet.
next time you're in Plano or
Yeah.
Louisville. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I don't know when I'll be back, but I used to live in both of those cities. So like whenever I come to Texas, I make it a point to come see my friends and my chiropractor. My chiropractor's in Louisville.
Sir, I would like to point out that is Louisville, Texas.
It is not.
It's Louisville.
It is not.
Louisville is spelled differently.
It's Louisville. Yep.
Answer.
Trust me, when I moved there, I said Louisville for a long time, and I got cussed out every time.
That's so weird.
I agree. I agree. It's
So
like, no, it's
weird.
pronounced Louisville. I'm like,
Who
no,
was
it's
it?
spelled Louisville.
Who was it the other day that was
Zach.
saying Louisville? Yeah, Zach was saying Louisville, and Sozo, I think, was saying no, but it's pronounced Louisville. I was like, but it is spelled differently.
See?
I don't.
See?
Did we really do a 3-hour long live
Yes.
last time?
Yes, by ourselves.
That's true.
I think was that the one I was driving. I had to
Yeah,
drive.
that you should
Yeah.
have joined.
Yeah.
I should have. I sat in that traffic so freaking long. I was pissed.
Do a live from traffic.
I was pissed.
Hey, this is live update. Still sitting.
Stressing out.
Man, we were in that thing for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, please, just let me go up this mountain.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. I appreciate everyone that joined in, asked questions, commented. Thank you for Ross for taking your time on your home time to join us. It was fun.
It was fun. Thanks
Love
for
to do it
inviting
again.
me. Yeah,
Next
probably
time we'll
not
do
3
live on-
hours.
We'll have to do a live on your channel.
Yeah.
We can wrap it up after an hour.
I was about to say you might want to warm up before you come on my channel because hour
That's
and 3
fine.
minutes and we are out.
We just don't have boundaries. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks so much, man.